thinks that his lyrics are really clever.
Oh yeah, Colt 45 is just a legendary song.
Colt 45 and 2 zigzags, baby, that's all we need. I don't smoke weed though.
There was a country artist that redid Colt 45 recently. You would like that one in.
Who redid it?
Let me double check. I think Cooper Allen and Rashad. Rashad's like a black guy from Mississippi, and Cooper Allen, you know who Cooper Allen is.
Do I?
Yeah.
Did you see what Adams is writing to you in the chat?
No. Let's see. Oh, my size 46 panties on stage. What the hell? Oh, Adams went hard at Raising Cane's today. He got a whole 6-pack of those chicken tenders from Raising Cane.
I've never had Raising Cane's. I heard it's good.
What? Raising Cane's is a staple in the South. You've never had Raising Cane's in?
You've never taken me.
Because you're dingy.
Well, but I don't really... Because I'm bougie. I guess. I don't like chicken though.
It's the stupidest thing anyone ever write to somebody. If you wanted to get somebody and take them to jail, like, that would be the perfect note you would write.
You know that Candace Owens also said that she doesn't think dinosaurs exist and that the bones are fake, right?
Wait, I don't believe shit like that. People take things that she says out of context all the time.
Wait, when did you say Nina was stupid?
No, this is good. This is good. Are you guys talking about the Charlie Kirk debate?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Andrew,
I didn't watch the debate. I didn't watch the free trial hearing.
Nina's asking Andrew why we let Taylor call it stupid. I didn't hear Taylor call it.
No, Taylor. Did I write Taylor?
The debate was so good.
I would never, Nina.
Sasha. Oh, I see.
The
Sorry.
debate was so good.
Like, Sasha not in your side.
Taylor, did you watch the Wilson?
Yeah, Candace Owens slapped the beard off of Andrew Wilson.
I just can't stand to watch either of them for more than 20 minutes at a time. I only have so much faith.
I don't agree with that, but I will say she did better than I thought she was going to do, because I thought it was going to be really bad. She at least made a few points that I thought were pretty good.
I think she ended up giving herself more credibility. I don't think Andrew Wilson did what he claimed he was going to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird to me that Candace Owens is like a Christian, because if she's going to have this mindset, she might as well try to debunk the resurrection of Jesus if you're going to be positing these like kind of theories, you know? No, it is. No, it's true. Like, we have more direct evidence. We have more direct evidence that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk than we do that, you know, Jesus.
That's not true. Show me your direct evidence. Show it to me. Let's go take a look at your direct evidence.
We have texts and letters of him confessing.
Let's go listen. Let's go look at the videos that you're calling direct evidence, please.
Yeah, have I introduced you to my good friend Sarah?
Yes, I believe you have.
Let's go look at your direct evidence and see how direct it is.
Hold on,
Caleb.
Okay, go ahead.
Is this a replay or is this happening right now?
Has not even seen the phone
I can't see
yet.
the room.
Apparently, what is it? Apparently, we don't know how to update. I have Dunning-Kruger. We have Dunning-Kruger. What else?
Well, we have Dunning-Kruger.
We're stuck in our empiricism.
Yeah, when people tell us that like free will is real and possible, we just don't even acknowledge it, and we double down on our empirical worldview. And also, apparently, CM is stupid.
What the fuck? I guess he went over there. He's like fucking.
Let me see if he goes there. Hold on, I'm gonna play it back 1 second.
Yeah, I'll tell you if I see him. Yup, of course he's there. Oh my god, play it.
Maybe it was.
Yo, that's just what he says.
Exactly. By the way, Andrew, before you get on this as a tangent, what are your thoughts on James' PTR? I believe that is supposed to be
I think I was going to say...
Come on, that friction talk.
anything about it yet.
Oh, I have said something about it. I said that it was really, kind of weird.
I don't know if they
Yeah.
And I said that it
You know
was
what weird thing
seemed like
is
projecting. And
What's weird about it?
Well,
Well, the strangest part is that between the two of them, there are 5 different hands that you can take.
Yeah, let's start with this. It's a homosexual.
Is this live? Peace.
Yeah,
it's
live.
fun.
we
No. I was saying that was the
He needs to break up with John Lee. He's gonna break up.
Like, is this a replay or is this live? It's live.
Oh no.
This trial has taught
I
me.
wanna go
Oh,
be
you're
part of
breaking
the
up,
team.
Andrew.
John Lee is married.
It must be the Israeli government
I
trying
think
to
it's
Yeah,
back now.
exactly. This trial has taught me how much people go off of hearsay than actual, what they
Have you
know.
listened to it?
Like, this trial and what
This is
Kenneth
very-
Owens said, when people come back and they say things, I now know how much people
Sarah's
just
breaking
go
up
off
now.
of, like, a clip that they saw.
I'm kind of like happy for Abby.
And bring back-
Sometimes I feel like she doesn't take this shit too serious.
It was you that was
Sometimes like she's so desperate to try to like fit in.
To know his thoughts.
Not y'all.
I was just saying, John Lee.
It's Andrew as well.
John Lee
Okay,
is married, and it's a gay. It's a gay PTR, and John Lee is married, so it's kind of weird, And then he's kind of
That's you in the PTR.
He's got to sing like a rainbow flag, as though we're not just gay, but we're advocating for.
And also a trans flag, so I don't know which one of you is trans in the situation.
And also, John has 2 right hands, so what do you make
Oh,
of
that's
that?
fiction. Come on, freaking
And
say
two right
something,
feet.
bro.
I think that's actually his thing.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with
Maybe,
having
yeah,
a
I see a
right
lot.
now.
This is more evidence that James. This is more evidence that James has become more.
Oh god, this.
He's basically degenerate atheist, right?
By doing this kind of
Like that's
stuff.
what you're saying.
He
Use the Arabic word to try to brand.
Andrew, when they were doing
He's
this
basically
last
degenerate
night,
atheist.
when they were doing
I'm
this
sure
last
that's
night,
very good. Roger did confirm that most of the philosophers are actually not most, but of course we're actually quite degenerate. So
yeah, but they still have philosophy.
Is
But
that
I
the
was-
problem?
you know that Andrew last night when they were trying to say that they're saying there's some elements of you, Andrew, that might be gay. I defended you and I said, I don't know what you guys are talking about. This sounds like this thing that like non-believers do, where they kind of like secretly are hoping that Christians are gay or something.
yeah, they hope the homophobic ones are gay because then it's just funnier.
It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird how like all homophobic
Think
Christians.
God is real.
It's kind of weird how all these like very famous homophobic Christians all just end up being gay, right? That is kind of
Yeah,
like,
Well, I don't know if that's true.
Freaking
It's because they're projecting and it's like,
I bet you anything. I bet you anything. Steven Anderson is not gay.
I don't know about that. I'm not confident that he's not.
God.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm very
Have you seen his haircut?
dude, I don't
Yo,
know.
look.
It's fucking, you got the gay
The
accent.
anon
That's sex on the
probably
window times to know that you're
I
not.
have it.
This massive coat.
It is.
Oh, what do you- Look up a list of like
Oh,
famous
yeah,
anti-gay Christian
You're
like
welcome.
crusaders who like ended up being gay or like kind of having like
Yeah.
male
It looks
prostitutes,
really
like
bad.
you know,
Like, I
having
know
sex
there's
with
some
prostitutes.
notable cases.
Let's say,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
say,
Hager,
let's say, let's say out of over 2 billion Christians, that there's like 359 million anti.
No. I don't play that game.
And you can pull up a list of 12.
No. I
I'm
don't play
telling you,
that.
I don't think they started
It's the-
messing. Can you go back?
I can't go back. It's live.
No. I'm DMing Abby.
Oh.
I thanked her for writing in the comments that we're listening.
By the way, it actually is true. They've done these studies that people who are like rabidly anti-LGBT, they are more like people who are like literally like violent or like they think they should kill gay people or shit like that. Like they are actually more likely to be sexually aroused when they see gay porn.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Dude, it's like name again one of these like aggressively homophobic, at least like I don't know, Republican politicians that didn't end up being gay, bro.
Right.
Again, like all of them.
Just think logically, right? Like it's so obvious. Like, let's say
Yeah.
you are truly not gay, right? You do not get turned on by watching guys have sex at all. then you'd have no issue watching guys having sex because you'd almost laugh at it. It would be like, okay, whatever, it doesn't do anything for me. But if you're like kind of gay and it makes you uncomfortable because you don't like the feelings you're getting, yeah, of course you can. So funny.
Yeah, let's see what Abby says. I told her, I'm like, can you go back? I don't think they saw your message. Can you go back and like tell them again that we're listening? I just wanted to talk about it again. But like now, knowing that we're listening, bro, that's gonna be good.
But like, what's crazy to me is like, I'm just for fun as like an anthropologist, I try to see it from their point of view. And like from their point of view, they really think that like we don't update. So let me make it clear because they want it when when they tell you free will is real and you point out that makes no sense. Here are the issues with that. It's contradictory. It's not empirical. Doesn't map onto the way reality behaves. They think you're not updating, right? They don't say you refuted my position. They say you're not updating.
Yo, Coco says,
dude,
Andrew, bigotry, no way, was true. And we have a
in the 14th century, when they would burn like people alive at the stake for being heretics, they would probably say the same thing. They'd be like, we told you Jesus is real, you're not updating. You're not updating.
The irony about this updating thing is that their fucking religion hasn't been updated in thousands of years, bro. Their beliefs are fucking ancient.
Every accusation is an admission.
It's pure projection.
Yeah. It's hilarious. But it's scary because what's scary is like, this is truly, you're seeing in like real time, this is the way people remain delusional. Like from their point of view, they feel like they like gave it a fair shot. They feel like they looked at different worldviews, they talked to different people, and like this is the truth now. And they don't realize they're completely fucking delusional, and that's scary.
Yeah, I told you, it's like this kind of group think where like they surround themselves with other like fucking like crazy believers, and they kind of normalize it. If we were in like a truly rational society where, you know, this shit was fringe like it should, and people like rightfully got called out for most of this bullshit. Like dude, people would be like embarrassed to say this shit, but
oh, I know. And he said, fucking Milith was very talkative today. Milith was going like, he's like, it's crazy how they see themselves as some like golden adorned Adonis.
Golden Adonis.
Right. When everyone is telling them they're a leper. And who's telling us we're lepers? Sasha and Bob.
Like Sasha and Bob are like some of the smartest people I've ever met in my life.
I cannot believe he said it with a fucking straight face. It's crazy.
But like with the conviction in his voice, bro. Like he's serious. Sasha, Bob.
Sasha and Bob.
Literally the two most toxic fucking people in that room.
Hello.
How are you doing, boys?
Okay, you got followers. I say seriously. Sometimes I let people like now. I check. Do they have like 0 followers or?
Doctor Centimeter, shut the fuck up. Nobody wanna hear your fucking speech.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
I don't know. Hold on, they know me obviously.
You look like
we're getting a lot of little.
You look like a fucking prisoner, bro.
This is my mugshot, bro.
You look like an inmate.
His mugshot, don't cross them. He's a fucking big time cartel. Yeah, I do. They carry the little daggers.
Do you know what a Sicario is?
Yeah. Oh, that's one of my favorite movies. That's one of my favorite movies, Sicario, with Emily Blunt.
One of your favorite movies?
Oh shit!
I'm talking about the ones in real life.
No, that's where you live in the ghetto, bro. Over here, we watch cinema, we listen to music.
I live in Miami, dude.
Sam doesn't live in the
Miami
ghetto.
same
He's
shit,
fucking-
bro. That's the
he's got a
fucking
man-
biggest ghetto in the
He's got
world.
a compound and he's got a mansion surrounded in his compound. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell more about your life. But yeah.
It's a moat with like alligators and then like a courtyard with tigers.
Yeah, Sam's like big time.
Seriously, my dad did work for parts of.
Are you sucking the inmate sticks?
It's like Pablo, dude. Pablo fucking, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he's a fucking like legend, man. He fucking, was so powerful. This motherfucker, he agreed to turn himself into the government.
Meaning me?
I like, look. I like
Hold on.
Listen,
Reverse.
I like white
Me
people.
as in me?
Yeah. Oh, was it Ann? Was it Ann? My bad, I might be wrong.
Yeah, I said it.
Okay, my bad, B. I apologize. But no, I mean, I like white people who stand on business about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like white people who don't pretend with me. That's what I don't like.
Wow.
We don't either. That's why people don't either.
I mean, that's like a, you know, do you, like, people like you who, like, pretend to be, like, he's not really Dominican. He tries to be Dominican. Like,
what the fuck are you talking about? Where guy is so Look, like I said.
Okay, do you respect that guy? The guy that pretends to be Dominican? Do you respect that guy? Sorry, curiosity.
Carry on. What were you saying? Yeah, no. Like, you know, I like the white people who, like, got respect for their culture. You know.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fuck with racist white people. I fuck with that. Like, you.
Wait.
You fucking with your own people. I ain't got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying?
Can you elaborate? What do you mean by you fuck?
I mean, if you would shut the fuck up, I could. You know what I'm saying? You talk too much.
Okay, you don't have to be.
You talk too much.
You don't have to be aggressive.
I mean, I'm black. What do you expect, right?
I don't know what that means.
Alright, well, like I said, just shut the fuck up sometimes, you know what I'm saying? The most I gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a list
Okay,
for a reason.
I accept your apology.
Apology?
Yes.
Imagine me apologizing to a white person. Are you crazy?
Well, you should apologize.
Right, brother. I hear you.
Well, I'm not your brother.
It was a euphemism, bro.
Don't take it literally.
Well, don't laugh at me.
I mean, I'm black. I speak colloquially. You know what I'm saying? Hey, David's not white though. He's Peruvian, I believe, and he kind of looks like one of those guys from Love on the Spectrum. One of the like heavily autistic.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, he looks like. I gotta
imagine a person talking about you like that. That's crazy. What the fuck? But yeah, nah, man. I ain't got like, you know. Look, white people conquered the known world, so obviously they were good at something. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't.
What do you mean?
So let me ask you a question. Are you gonna just interrupt anytime anybody says anything?
Probably.
No, you can ask me a question. I mean,
I'm not gonna ask you nothing. For what reason do I need to ask you something?
I mean, I do have a PhD.
I don't care. What does that mean to me, bro? A PhD in what?
Mathematics.
And wait, where did that get you?
I mean, I'm not gonna say how much money you make, but you know, it's working out well.
Brother, I didn't graduate high school. And I'm a millionaire.
You're not
I'm a millionaire and I didn't graduate high school.
Well,
so what does that mean?
$1 million.
I worked for Tesla and didn't graduate high school.
$1 million is not that much money, so.
Did you just say $1 million is not that much money?
Yeah, that's true though.
It's not that much money. I don't know. And maybe you.
Are you crazy?
Maybe you like $1 million.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Hey, how much money do you have to make in a year? How much money do you have to make in a year for you to be a 1%er? Oh, that is him.
I'm not gonna answer your question. With all due respect.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 4-1.
Hey, Eastleigh. I'm sipping a little red wine, waiting for my dryer to finish the clothes. I've just been doing home chores, landscaping, working out, sun tanning all day. How was your day, beautiful?
Why aren't you his brother?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, I'm saying it euphemistically. I'm not being literal.
Well, I'm curious, David.
Yeah.
I thought you were a nice guy.
I am very nice. Thank you.
He's a wolf in
Why
sheep's
wouldn't you
clothing.
consider all men on this planet your brother?
Exactly.
Well, I like Goo. Goo can be my brother, but
Are you Jewish? He doesn't believe in Christ.
wow.
yet.
That's an interesting question.
Well,
Are you,
I'm
David?
just wondering because a Christian wouldn't say something
Bima,
like
so
that.
Interesting,
yeah.
right? Are
Tell
you?
me if this makes sense. And anybody in this group.
Wait,
Okay.
Ann, hold on, Ann,
No,
hold on.
calm down.
David, are
calm
you
down.
Jewish?
Calm down.
No, let me explain. I'll explain to you, King and Bima. So he was born and raised Catholic, but he said that now tell me if this makes sense. Now people know what Catholics believe in, right? And he said that he would marry a Jewish girl and he would raise his children to be Jewish. And
Hold on. Stop trying to reason. Stop trying to figure out or dissect David Bobadilla. You're just
I would okay. So my last girlfriend was Jewish, and she's awesome. Okay.
Nobody cares about your life, brother. I'm not gonna
The
lie.
thing is, it's like a contradiction because if he's Catholic, how would you want to break?
Because he's Jewish.
Well,
They're allowed to lie to you.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with being okay. Okay. So if I'm gonna have,
Wait, hold on, David.
Is your brain malfunctioning?
Let's do
What's
this.
wrong with you?
Let's do this experiment. So, David.
No, I was trying to listen to.
That's
Okay,
also
sorry.
something you're never supposed to say.
David,
Hold on,
you
Goo is talking. Sorry.
David, hold on. Let's do this experiment. So, you would consider me your brother, right?
Yes, you're
You
one
would
of the good
consider-
friends.
You would consider Joe Hero to be your brother, right?
No.
Oh, interesting.
This man's a simpleton.
What about William Wallace over here?
He's cool, but not my brother. No.
Okay.
Would you say I'm your sister?
I'd like you. Yeah, you're cool. I always consider you.
This man's
Okay,
malfunctioning.
maybe.
You're an idiot, aren't you?
Like, I would say gun to the head. I would say yes,
Okay.
but gun to the head.
Hilarious, huh? That was funny. This man's an idiot.
So what is the issue?
You're inbred. That's the issue. You're inbred.
That's a personal opinion. I don't know where that comes from. To be honest.
You're Jewish, brother. I mean, you have to be, right?
Okay. First of all, are you being anti-Semitic?
Wait, you think you're Semitic?
No, I'm asking you. Stop being
So
anti-Semitic.
no, right? Is the answer? You're right. So how could I be anti-Semitic when you just said you're not Semitic?
No.
How is that possible?
I didn't. Okay, I'm just telling you, stop being anti-Semitic. That's all.
I'm Semitic.
What happens?
Whoa! Don't call me the N-word. Don't call me the N-word.
Hold up.
The N-word.
What happens
Where do I
if
say
it's like the
N-word?
truth? We identify who's the brother.
He just called me the N-word.
David, hold up. One mic on Bima.
Moderators.
Oh, thank you.
Moderators. He called me the N-word.
Oh,
Do you not know where you're at? You know how many times I've been called a nigger in here?
Wow. Okay, I don't say the N-word. Okay.
Nobody cares. You're Jewish.
David, you're an interesting
I'd rather be
person.
called the
Jewish.
N-word than deal with a Jewish person.
Okay, but I'm not Jewish. Okay. So I don't know where that comes from.
You are.
David is the most flagrantly autistic drunk person I've ever met.
David, are you
He's an
drunk?
idiot.
I don't know.
No,
what that
he's
means.
not drunk.
I don't know.
You
Yeah, I don't know what that means. What does it mean? I don't know.
It means
You're a simpleton. That's what it means. You're an idiot.
First of all, I'm not a
lingering.
simpleton. I have a PhD in
A
mathematics.
PhD and you're still retarded.
Okay, I just have to say that a
Well, first of all,
PhD in
we don't say
mathematics
the R
is not
word. We
impressive.
don't say the R word.
My brother's fiance has a PhD in mathematics. I think she's
Well,
so dumb.
yeah,
Like,
my friend's fiance.
I'm just kidding. That's not nice. I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, like I was telling the truth, but I was surprised that she had a PhD. I was just like, wow, you must save all of your rationality for just numbers.
You're an idiot. See what I'm saying?
But David sounds like a nice guy. But what I wanted to say was, I remembered what it was from. Oh, look, 11/11.
Yeah, but at least you don't say the N word. This guy is saying the N word. That's not appropriate.
David, Bobadilla, have you heard of the book Verbal Judo? There's 11 things that you're never. Yes, this is where I got it from, and so we did a replay, one of Monica's famous replays, for you haters who hate her replays, and we went over the things that you're not supposed to say in a conversation. One of those things is calm down. Another one that I heard tonight is, what's your problem? Another one is speaking universals, like you always. No, it was written by Jerry Jenkins, George Thompson and Jerry Jenkins.
So my therapist, like when I talk to my therapist,
but wait, there's more.
She always said, I'm sorry.
So there's others.
Hey David, do you know what Dunning-Kruger is?
Hold on, wait, let me get through
I'm
this.
sorry, go ahead. Say again. So yeah, I was just gonna say, like, really quick, like, you know, when I talk to my therapist, who I'm gonna see her on Thursday.
Is it Dr. Cap?
Nobody gives a fuck about you. Like, what the fuck?
No, but I was gonna say, like she, you know, makes me realize, like, with all due respect to people in this room, there's some very not nice people in this room.
Look at you, you can't even think.
David, are you?
Well, I'm talking about
PhD and you have to listen to a woman about your life?
David, have you slept with your therapist?
I mean, yeah, my therapist is a woman, yes. But okay. No, how dare you? No, of course not.
You fantasize about sleeping with her?
No, of course not.
Does she fantasize about sleeping with you?
I'd like to know those questions.
I mean, you have to ask her. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know your therapist.
Definitely not. I can tell by the way. No woman wants to be with you.
You know, with all due respect, you guys are being very inappropriate.
No, we're gonna start debating Jung versus you know, versus Freud at this point. So that's
when like you know, when I was in the room earlier today, with my Jewish friends, and we're talking about.
Oh my God, you lose.
PTR. This is the real photo of David Bowman.
Oh yeah, you look. Yeah, he definitely was.
He's an invader. He's an invader.
Docs.
You know, you have to give it up to him. He is tall for a Peruvian.
He's not that tall.
It's the
How many Peruvians have you met? They're really small. It's like an altitude thing.
Okay, now you're being what do you call that when you're you know, you're assuming things of people.
Dude, I probably know more Peruvians than you do.
How dare you? I mean,
I'm just saying. It's the truth. It's fact.
I mean, you know. Okay, I'm not gonna brag.
This man's an idiot.
I'm not gonna brag.
You take too long to think,
okay,
bro.
1 second. 2 seconds.
Where's the white people that can think? Give me the fuck. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Okay. Now everyone's white. Now, where did that come from? Okay, but
are we ready for an intermission?
But
Yes.
you know.
Yes. Interrupt.
You know,
David, thank you.
No, hold on a second. 2 seconds. For the record.
Hold on, David. We're breaking for an intermission. We'll come right back to you.
And every breath of the water.
It's really funny. Well, it's really funny when you get it about. He's talking about what you're looking at, but obviously the stewardess hears he's trying to blow up the plane.
That's the type of jokes they give in it.
I was just thinking, is it next month is quarter century since 9/11.
Yeah, bro.
Crazy.
Another good joke. Like, yeah, dude.
Don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no turning.
Still every whisper of the wind, so like a flame straight and unstirred, burn up thy being in one word. Next, still that ecstasy prolong, thy meditation steep and strong, slaying even God, should he distract thy attention from the chosen act.
Last, all these things in one are powered. Time that the midnight blossoms flowered.
The oneness is yet even in this. My son, thou shalt not do amiss.
If thou restrain the expression, shoot thy glance to rapture's darkling root.
Discarding name, form, sight, and stress, even of this high consciousness.
Here's to the heart, I leave thee here. Thou art the master, I revere. Thy radiance that rolls afar, O brother of the silver star.
There is one light of the sun, though it is distributed over walls, mountains, and other things instead. There is one common substance, though it is distributed among countless bodies which have their several qualities. There is one soul, though it is distributed among infinite natures and circumspections.
There is one intelligent soul, though it seems to be divided. Now in the things which have been mentioned, all the other parts, such as those which are air and substance, are without sensation and have no fellowship. And yet even these parts the intelligent principle holds together, and the gravitating towards the same, but intellect in a peculiar manner tends to that which is of the same kin, and combines with it, and the feeling for communion is not interrupted. Man, thou hast been a citizen in this great state. What difference does it make to thee whether for 5 years? For that which is conformable to the laws is just for all. Where is the hardship then? tyrant nor yet an unjust judge sends thee away from the state, but nature who brought thee into it. The same as if a praetor who has employed an actor dismisses him from the stage. But I have not finished the 5 acts, but only 3 of them. Thou sayest well, but in life the 3 acts are the whole drama. For what shall be a complete drama is determined by him who was once the cause of its composition, and now of its dissolution. But thou art the cause of neither depart then satisfied. For he also who releases thee is satisfied. When thou hast seen Satyr and the Socratic, think of either Eutyches or Hymen. And when thou hast seen Euphrates, think of Eutychian or Sylvanus. And when thou hast seen Alciphron, think of Tropeoporus. And when thou hast seen Xenophon, think of Crito or Severus. And when thou hast looked on thyself, think of any other Caesar, and in the case of everyone doing like matter, then let this thought be in thy mind, where there are those men, nowhere or nobody knows where, for thus continuously thou wilt look at human things as smoke and nothing at all. Especially if thou reflectest at the same time that what has once changed, then never exist again in the infinite duration.
He says you're rich.
I'm a millionaire, brother.
A millionaire.
A millionaire.
Million is nothing, especially in
different ways
California.
to get that dirty ass wig on top of your head, nigga. Okay, you're wearing a fucking lace front. You're literally wearing a fucking lace front. Like, where are your hoop earrings? Like, are you okay? Where are your hoop earrings? You're wearing a fucking lace front. That ain't all your hair. You wearing fucking.
Wait, you think this is my hair?
You look stupid. You look like the nigga version.
Nigga,
of
what do I look like?
You
My
look
mom?
like the nigga version.
What I look
of
like my
Cowardly
mom wearing a lace
You look
front? Are you
stupid.
crazy?
You look very stupid.
Are you crazy, bro? Well, a black man wearing a lace front is disgusting. Never, brother. Never.
Yeah, but you have to agree, like $1 million isn't.
So get that rug off your nappy head.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, brother. You're poor.
Whoa, wow.
Arguing with me is insane. You should argue for your own people and shit. You said you're black though, right? Damn, it got quiet in here. That's crazy.
Imagine having a balding nappy wig on top of a balding nappy head. That's crazy. That's crazy. You got a whole balding nappy wig on top of a nappy. That's why I told you, you look stupid. You look like the niggerly Cowardly Lion.
Did that hit like you thought?
Nigger version of the Cowardly Lion from Wizard of Oz. You look stupid. You should put your bows in your hair and put on some hoop earrings.
You said I look like the what?
Yes, you look like the nigger version of the Cowardly Lion from the Wiz. That's what you look like.
Oh, the black one.
You look stupid.
He actually might be.
You look stupid. You look stupid. You need to accept
imagine
the fact that
me
you're
caring
old.
about
Accept the fact that you're old, you're over the hill. You don't need to stop acting like you're young. You look stupid.
Who said I'm
You
young,
look
brother?
stupid.
I'm 31 years old. Who said I'm young?
Well, you look like shit. You look like you're 30 years old from 90.
Like, you look like shit.
What do you mean?
Wow.
Okay, you
Wow.
up on Clubhouse worried about other people. You look
Clubhouse-
like shit.
Nigga, I'm never on here.
Wow.
Put it like
You were
this.
on here in Woke's room the other day, weren't you?
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah. I get on here when I'm fucked up every once in a while, like every couple of months. and
Hey,
shit.
calm down.
But I will say this though. I'm gonna be honest. I like arguing with niggas. You know what I'm saying? But every once in a while though, I disappear. Like I got invited to this app, bro. You know, like I was on here when this app first started.
All right, so
I don't spend.
All right, calm down.
You said
calm
what?
down.
I said
Calm
so.
down.
I said so were we.
Listen. If somebody made a meme
And you have 2.1 followers.
You look stupid.
2.1K followers, bro. And you're on here all the
You look
time.
stupid.
You said what, big dog?
Whoa,
talking
wow.
to me?
No, I'm talking about Nicky Challenge.
Stop calling him the N-word.
God damn it, David, me shut up.
David, shush.
Yeah, but
Yeah, literally. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, well, first of all, don't tell me that. To shut
No,
the
shut the fuck up, you dumb goddamn beaner. Go back to fucking Peru, wherever you're from.
There you go. Yeah, see. I fuck with that thing, bro.
Well,
Joe, and Pepe, they're the type of white boys I can deal with, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can deal with that.
Pepe is not white, and I'm from New York. I'm not from.
Yeah, but you're Peruvian beaner, despite being from New York.
Well, I was born in the U.S. So.
Wait, why'd you just
So
let
you're
him
a
talk
beaner.
to you like that? Why'd you let him just talk to you like that?
Because he's a beaner and he knows it. He can't do anything about it.
I'm okay with
You should argue with Pepe and Joe anytime they
Nah,
say
Pepe's
anything.
fine. Pepe's fine.
No, he's really not fine. He's racist as hell. But
Well, it sounds
I
it sounds like you're more racist. No offense.
I mean, me and Pepper are neck and neck when it comes to racism, you know? Like, but you not arguing with somebody and they just talk to you like that is disgusting.
Well, I'm actually arguing with you.
No, but you're a dirty beaner, David. You need to shut up.
Yeah, but I do have a PhD. So.
It's fine, beaner. Jump too.
Wait, are you a millionaire?
I'm not gonna answer that question.
He's a trust fund.
There's nothing wrong with being a trust fund.
So in other words, he hasn't earned the money his family owns.
Exactly. Imagine me trying to argue with you and you inherited your wealth. How dare you?
What did you do for your wealth?
Well, you inherited it. So in other words, you did nothing for yourself. Which literally, if you inherited your wealth and you flex on being wealthy,
I never flexed anything.
That's stolen. That's stolen valor. No, that's stolen valor.
Stolen valor. Literally.
Absolutely. You did not go through the grind. You didn't make it to the bottom to the top. Any of that shit. And so you can sit here and say, bro. But you didn't earn it yourself. You deserve 0 street credits. You didn't do it yourself.
Exactly. And I can tell by the way that you talk that you're an idiot. Like every single time that you talk, you start stuttering and shit. Your brain doesn't even compute at the rate that it should. Shut the fuck up.
What does this even mean?
So you don't know what the word means. You're an idiot. That's really proved my point.
Watch him out.
He's too drunk. Dave's too drunk.
I mean, I'm drunk too.
David Bobadilla, I understand. It's like, you lived a soft life with your parents. You think you're cultured because you have parents who can afford shit that they earned and afforded to you, but you cannot afford to yourself, and that's amazing.
No, that's not appropriate.
But it's a reality. Like if you are somebody who lives off of your family, but you did not actually accrue any of that wealth yourself, like that you're nothing for your family, for example, like your dad or grandfather, they would be in business meetings with bigwigs, and they would have their talks, they would do negotiations, whatever, and They could
And you
do
come
that.
on
That's cool.
Clubhouse
If you were
drunk
lucky
as
enough that
fuck
you were
and
born
arguing
to a
with
family
racists.
like
Hey,
that.
calm down, relax.
Hold on, Florida. If you were lucky enough to be born in a family, could you?
Oh no, I wasn't
But at
talking to
the
you,
end of
Pepe.
the-
I was talking to him.
No, I get it. But
Wait, him who?
hey, you.
You.
When it
You're
comes,
an
when it
idiot. You're an
comes
idiot. You're an idiot. That's my. That's like.
Hold on, but when it comes to, when it
calm
comes
down,
to,
calm down.
but when it comes to, okay, you know, unfortunately, you know, this is where like the wealth disparity that you see, you basically get the Paris Hiltons, you get the retards that basically inherit a lot of wealth, and they are, you know, I don't know, they think they're better than, despite
I don't think I'm better than anybody.
absolutely nothing in their life except for being drunk on disco.
I'm not better than anybody.
Or Clubhouse all day.
Well, I don't know what that means. I don't feel like I'm better than anybody.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
I got a PhD. I got how many times you dropped it like 3 or 4 times tonight. I got a PhD. I got, and I don't even know if you got a PhD.
Okay, but
the reason being is your blood alcohol level has never been below like 0.30, so I can't gauge that.
Pepe,
And that's just
click on my
Well, the only reason I say I'm
click on my
PhD.
PTR and blow it up. This is a real photo for David.
Yo, Wallace, I'm blocked from that room now because of Timothy. So fucking annoying. Whatever. It's like, it's such a waste of time. It's so stupid. It's fucking retarded. Giving kids orphans beyond the fact. I didn't even think the guy was fine. He even got all that money in the animal. Do you think the guy who talks like that is physically capable of fucking noise? Waste of space. He's on the way out, Wallace.
Wow.
What the hell?
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Wait, what's a magic?
No,
What the hell
Barack.
is that?
You know, hold on. That we have black men in here that do not know what the Magic Negro.
Yeah, we didn't make the movie like.
Can you?
Like White Man Can't Jump. We didn't even make that movie, but it's like it's funny. But yeah, go.
I believe this is a moment for us to hold content regarding what the Magic Negro really
Can
is.
you explain it? What
Yeah,
is it?
explain it. Yeah, we listening.
Didn't do it. Hold up.
Or Remember the Titans, whichever one.
I think it's just like saying the word Negro.
No,
It's
it's
like,
a song.
It doesn't kind of roll off.
Without the magical Negro touch, you would not have what you have today.
I mean, saying that is kind of, is it kind of racist? I don't know.
No, it's not.
David, shut the fuck up. Everybody's not victims, bro. Just because we're black doesn't mean we're victims. Are you, yo, he's gonna make me sick.
Stop
Shut the
talking
fuck
to
up.
him. He's like, there.
Poor ass, bro.
Hey, guys, relax.
Okay,
Can we
okay,
grieve?
I'm relaxed.
Hold on now. Since we have
You know,
people-
my therapist was
Hold
saying,
on, David, hold on. We're starting a content segment. Since we have people unfamiliar with what the Magic Negro is, I have posted at the top the
How dare
article
you.
from it's. Look, I didn't frame it this way. I did not create this. From the top right here, you can see in the pinned post in the Jumbotron. It's an LA Times article that was written in 2009 about the Magic Negro. And what the Magic Negro is that there was a belief that there would come along a black man.
what you're saying is making me very uncomfortable.
David, if I need to put you in the audience for this segment, I will. I didn't invent this. I'm just reporting it
Actually,
for the room.
Yeah,
so
can you stop saying the N word?
I'm not saying
David,
the
why don't you go to the hallway, come back in 5 minutes?
Listen. Look, I just come from the deep south. I'm familiar with this. So
That's not an excuse.
God damn it, no one's in the audience, for fuck's sake.
All right, David. You have to go to the audience. You've been voted off the island. All right. So there was a belief during, the yesteryear and the before times, back before COVID, that there would be this magic Negro that would come along, and he was charming enough to charm the white people into believing that he would be able to save everybody. And in 2009, an opinion article from the Los Angeles Times was written by a black journalist titled Barack the Magic Negro. And it was believed that this man from Barack, and this man named Barack, would come and save the Negroes and the white folk. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up.
Negroes, don't make it. Sounds so worse.
I'm not making this up. So there's a song that goes along with this. And if anyone's curious, I'm going to play it.
Yeah, Pump the Magic Dragon. Yeah, I heard it.
I'm going to play it as an intermission, and everyone can read, and then we'll read the article, okay? Hold on now.
Everybody stay on mute. Stay your fucking asses on mute.
Hey man, who the fuck are you talking to? Shut your faggot ass up.
Down for the struggle. Hold on. I need one mic.
That's Sharpton's Blackberry. Is that Hillary Clinton? Now, keep in mind, this is David BlackBerry service and Black. Friday was a bad day for BlackBerry. It was Thursday and Friday. I never lost mine. Well, I lost mine on Saturday a little bit when we received it. But nonetheless, there's the black dialect for the urban national network and so forth. Let's go back to March 5th again. This is Selma, Alabama, and this is Obama talking about having been in Selma before. The site of my conception. I am the prince of your labor. I am the offspring of the movement. So when people ask me whether I've been to Selma, I'll tell them I'm coming home. Okay, so she's trying to illustrate here, he is down for the struggle. And in this next bite, this is at the National Urban Network, Obama says that he shouldn't get black votes just because he's black. I should not get the support of the African American community simply because I'm African American. I don't believe in that. That is not what America. Well, you better change your attitude because Hillary certainly thinks that. I mean, that's exactly what Hillary thinks. Guess what patched it up, folks? I guess Sharpton and Obama patched it up since Obama showed up at Sharpton's big group.
Bro, come on, bro. Alright, bro, what are we doing here? Morning, dude. Alright, bro, can we stop this shit? You know this isn't real, bro.
Oh, you're gonna slow down.
You can't even hear what he's saying.
That is my favorite couple.
why would the LA Times frame Barack Obama?
Babe, it was really muffled. You couldn't make out the word.
Oh, that's a.
Okay, I think we got the point.
So you get the point.
Play the hot mic moment of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton on CNN from 2008.
Hey, check it out when he said, and when that Negro would stop talking about black people, or stop talking down to black people.
No. That's not what he said. He said if they got him a hot mic, and Jesse Jackson said this guy thinks we're all a bunch of poor country.
Yep. But nobody cares about what Jesse Jackson has to say. I'm confused why that matters.
Why? Well, I mean, I would think that Jesse Jackson that once ran for president, also was like right-hand man of Martin Luther King. He might have an opinion about a black politician and how authentic they are.
Wait a minute. You said Jesse Jackson has an opinion about the... Wait, hold on. James, are you black or white?
Well, I believe he said he clipped that nigga's nuts.
That's not what I said.
His words.
Yeah. The whole point was, I think somebody like Jesse Jackson has an opinion on the authenticity of a black politician.
Hey, like a wise man once told me, an opinion is like an asshole. Everybody has one. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a... Nigga, nobody has ever in their life, if you're black, been like, what does Jesse Jackson think about the situation? Ever.
Actually, a lot of people.
No shit, bro.
You think all black people are retarded? Like we can't think for ourselves? I ain't gonna lie. I don't know who you see, this is the problem. Is nigga, people, y'all act like just because they're supposedly supposed to speak for black people, we're supposed to listen to them. Is that what you're saying?
Black is very universal. Like it's all over.
Exactly.
I'm pretty with compilations. So many people. Like we went to the Middle East, Americas, all the places that these different colors were, bloody, dark black and dark brown, you see that they are all over the planet. So it's like it's a misnomer, definitely. Like it's just like saying, hey, European is all Caucasians. All of them are Anglo-Saxons. No, they're not. They're diverse.
Yeah. Some of them are Jewish.
Would you say in the United States, which states would you say are like the most cultural?
Oh, I missed what you said. What's saying?
I said in the United States, which states would you say are like the most cultural?
I think every place is a culture.
Yeah, that's a very weird thing to say.
You could talk about
the high population states.
I think she really, when she said cultural, she meant
New York.
Oh, like black people, whatever. I don't get that stuff, man. They say that in our churches. They be saying it like that. Evangelical, like white churches. They say culture will do this now. Like culture, everything we're doing is culture. And some of the things y'all enjoy is actually come from that quote-unquote culture.
Oh, see, when I like so like, okay, it's like Dearborn is obviously like a lot of Arabs. So I meant like cultural accents.
Yeah, we're not the same type of black.
Here's Ian.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hold on. If we're going to talk about Michigan in particular,
yeah,
we can look at Motown. We can look at what the fuck was his name? Something Berry. We can look at. Hold on.
I'm saying Chuck Berry, bro.
There's no Chuck Berry. There's no denying, at least culturally. This is where I extend my hand to black people.
We don't need your hand, brother.
The amount of like, for example, musical, innovation that they had that was grassroots. It wasn't like manufactured. That literally dominated the fucking world. You have to give African Americans their card when it comes to that. That's one thing nobody can deny.
Just music, huh, Pepe?
No, I
used it as an example when it came to Detroit.
Copy. All right, bad.
Yeah, Motown, and then when I was in New Orleans, Joe, like I didn't realize like the music culture and stuff until I saw it in person how like Louisiana and people are in Louisiana, and it's like seeing people second line dance. I'd never seen that before, and that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, my ancestors, they come from there. My great grandma, she was from there in Baton Rouge. But it's cool because a lot of the Indians are down there too. They blend in with black.
You mean Native Americans, right?
Native Americans, yeah, basically. Yeah, that's what I mean. We use different terms. I don't know why we do that, but it's just.
Wasn't Drew Brees was one of them, right?
No. Yeah, see,
As long as the niggas are not pretending to be hey, niggas are cool with me.
Hey, let's not skip over the food. Let's not skip over the food.
That's a fact.
Richard, one second. Let me clarify this. So, in New Orleans, every year they have Mardi Gras Indians. It's been going on for about 150 years. And black folk in New Orleans dress up as Indians because they were treated worse than the Indians were in Jim Crow America. Okay, so part of why they represent themselves as Indians is due to the atrocities that they face.
That's not the reason why.
Yeah, that's not at all.
That's you're way off, bro.
I have so much proof.
No, that is that's why the Mardi Gras Indian.
Brother, that's why.
Go ahead. Tell me how I'm wrong.
Here's why they do that. Because they used to stay together. So during the misogyny law era and stuff like that, where white could only marry white, black could only marry black, and brown could only marry brown.
That wasn't that. Okay, hold on.
That's not true at all. Hey, wait. Hold on, don't interrupt.
Hold on a second. When it comes to Louisiana, it's a much different story. So you had the decree of races, where basically it was Spanish territory, and you had the great expulsion from at least half of my family. They were Acadian. So basically, after the great expulsion by the British, they went to where? Louisiana.
That's far. Nigga. If you're talking about New Orleans, that is. What are you?
Hold on.
Do you think I'm an idiot?
Hold on.
You talk too much.
Don't be disruptive. Okay.
I have not been talking too much. I've been
be succinct. Everybody who speaks, be succinct.
So when it comes to that, you had the decree of races, which was Louisiana was a Spanish territory. It said that Europeans.
No, it wasn't. It was French. You idiot. What are you talking about?
No.
Haitian and Creole. French. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm done.
I know exactly what I'm idiot. Stop. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Louisiana was Spanish territory, and so they had a decree of races, which basically allowed European people of Catholic, faith to be able to move down there. And so that's where you end up getting the Acadians, which ended up being called Cajuns down there. And they did have like a rather strict classification, much like the Spanish did, whether you're a quadroon, octoroon,
you don't know what you're talking about. You're just talking.
I absolutely know what I'm talking about.
He's half right on this.
Yeah, exactly.
So when it comes to like the Spanish had mestizo, castizo, they had mulatto, they had all of these things.
What?
Mulatto.
The Spanish literally had a classification system. The French did too. But the reason why Louisiana ended up becoming dominated by the French people was because of the decree of races, where European people of Catholic descent, which at the time, you look in Canada, when the British ended up taking over and saying, you guys have to leave or we'll kill you, a bunch of them ended up in Louisiana. And
It was a lot of
You think I'm an idiot, don't you? You're just talking. Shut the fuck up, Pepe. You don't know what you're talking about.
what did I say that was wrong? You can't prove
Everything you
anything
just
I
said was wrong.
What I'm saying is something that would be taught in grade school. Like it's not.
Pepe, he's got a
nothing
moldy
controversial
fucking
about
wig
what I
on.
said.
You don't know what's right, Pepe. He got a moldy fucking wig on. Like, what are we talking about?
Hey, okay, there's too much
He got a moldy
hostility.
fucking wig on. Like, I mean, y'all supposed to be making sense with a person that has a moldy fucking wig on. Go zoom in on his shit. He got mold on his fucking wig. Like, I mean, y'all supposed to figure out the meaning of life from this nigga? Like, y'all, like, this
You need to
nigga,
you need to replace your wig. But like, I don't know why you're not on top of that.
Baby, you see that shit? He got mold in his fucking wig. Like, this is crazy.
Replace your wig, nigga. What's
Yeah, let me check. Does he have mold in his wig? Does he? Can any lady confirm? Can any lady confirm? That we need a lady to confirm it.
His
No, but you're not black.
Where are the black women? Hold on. We don't want to hear from any Africans or Caribbeans. We want to hear from black women.
Okay, that's all I was asking. You don't gotta
Sit down. Yes, I do, because you're coming at me wrong.
I'm gonna try to hold my mouth.
Okay, so the black lady.
Of course, a gay black woman wants to say that a black man doesn't know what he's talking about, right?
No. The black lady confirmed that he don't have mold on his wig. Okay, he confirmed. It's a black lady.
But here's the thing. We are American.
Wait, one more black lady.
On the bottom right hand corner, that's mold. You don't wash his shit.
Wait. We have one more black lady. Hold on. Let her give her opinion. Ona, tell us your opinion. Does Pepe have mold on his wig?
I just looked at the picture.
Yeah, does he have mold on his wig?
I wouldn't call it mold, but it does look kind of crunchy.
Yes,
Like,
it's
we can agree that shit don't
mold. It's mold. It's mold.
I don't get it. That bad hygiene. You sit up here trying to discuss politics. You can't politically discuss your fucking hygiene. Like, what are you talking about? Don't come up in here with a dirty ass wig talking shit to us.
But I don't get. Are we gonna be niggas and crackers against each other?
Yeah, like no. I argue with.
I want to be a motherfucking nigga tonight. Hold on, night. You can be nigga as fuck. It's fine. But let's.
I argue with white people. I don't argue with gay black dykes. That's what I don't do. You know.
Okay, but okay. Do we
Shut up,
want it
Pepe.
to
I'm
be?
not talking to you, pussy.
Do we want to be nigger versus cracker tonight, or do we want to be American versus non-American? What kind of energy are you guys on
my team. I don't even know dogs.
Doctor, don't forget. You're behind this nigga, right? You're behind this nigga though.
Hey, I can't get
Shut
behind
up,
no
Dyke.
dirty wig.
Shut
I
up,
can't get behind no dirty moldy wig. I can't
Who
get behind
cares?
this
My wig is dirty and my hair is fake.
would never come up with a dirty wig on like that.
You're a gay dyke. You hate black men anyway. You hate black men anyway. You hate black men anyway. You hate black men.
Hey, Joe, are you really gonna go for that? That guy Pepe just called us some niggas, bro.
Yeah, she not paying attention, bro. She don't care. She hate black people, bro.
You going to bed with a dirty wig on. That's crazy.
You talking about me being dirty, but a white man just called us a nigger, and you don't care.
Your dirty wig and that dirty face of the pussy. What the fuck is going on?
Just let it happen.
Black lives matter, bro. Black lives matter.
Don't correct them either. Just let it happen.
It sounds like what they want to happen. It sounds like you want this black bitch. You black monkey bitch. It sounds like you want it to go against the whites. Is that what you want to do, you nigger bitch? Suck the fucking dick. Is that what you want to do? You want to make this into a black versus white bill? Is that what you want to do?
Black lives matter.
Yeah, Pepe, that's what I'm gonna do.
We're not gonna let y'all do this, man. I'm not gonna
No, that's what we finna do. Y'all don't know where y'all at. Y'all don't know where y'all at, bro.
What you think? We came in here to debate, and we got this cracker in here calling us all.
I know you hear me talking, nigga. I know you knew though. You got a pink ticket, so
welcome to these niggas, bro. This is what they do.
But
yeah, well, you weren't even talking about that shit. Then these fucking niggers came in this fucking room wanting to search shit.
Hey, hold up. Hey, hear me. Why you checking the cracker?
1, 2. My favorite number is 3. So, anybody else want to interrupt me just so I can get to 3? I'll appreciate it.
Hurry up, nigger.
Okay. So some people.
No, don't move down, bro.
So I want King. If King wants to have the last word, he can have the last word. And we're gonna go back to what the hell we were talking about, or we can go back to what the hell we were talking about.
Yeah. I'll say this, bro. Like I told her, bro. Like she's sitting here trying to argue with me about some dumbass shit because she's gay or whatever. I ain't got no problem with that, bro. But my problem is not with you. My problem is with our enemy, bro. So you can talk to me crazy all you want to, but never forget that the white man. You see what the fuck you sitting there trying to be with him, but he don't. The white people don't give a fuck about you. The real race. That's why I told y'all the real racists don't fuck with y'all, bro. They don't give a fuck about us. I don't know why you trying to argue with me. Like I don't give a fuck if you gay. You want to be whatever the fuck. You can do whatever the fuck you want to. But when it comes down to us, I'ma die and be about us. But you sitting there trying to argue with me and do some weird ass shit. The white people laugh at us with us arguing about that. That's what I'm saying, bro. You talk too much. Period. That nigga Pepe, you saw what he did. He sat there and pretended with you for a little bit, and then instantly got on your ass. They don't respect us. When you do,
yeah, but that's what we call nigger negotiating.
He got the last word. We said he was going to say his piece, and that's it.
Okay, but that's nigger negotiation
though,
right
here.
here.
Now I have to let Pepe speak on it.
All I'll say is I agree with King 100%. Oh, now you people are quiet. That's amazing.
Do we need to move on to the conversation about? All right. So the original conversation is in 2007. An LA Times journalist wrote about the magic Negro, and what he talked about was that there would be this figure that would come along that has no past, and he simply appears one day to help the white protagonist. Now, why in 2007 this article was written in reference of Barack Obama, and why would it be framed as such? The print scared us.
Well, that's what we were talking about. We were talking about Louisiana and the Americans.
I think by that article was written, I think Obama was already on the radar for the Democrat Party.
No, he came out of nowhere, bro.
Well, no, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He did a lot of work in Chicago as well.
He did a lot of work in Chicago.
Fake birth certificate.
A lot of work. He did a lot of work. He did a lot of work
in Chicago.
Let him finish. Adrian, get out your get your pen.
Oh, we're talking.
Let you finish. Finish speaking.
Yeah, finish your point, nigger. Quit your bitch.
Fake ass birth certificate.
Bitch, I'll blow your head off. I don't like you. Tell him. Quit talking. But anyway, by the time that article was written, was already on the radar. He had already been on the radar for at least 3 years.
He's on a radar system for 3 years of doing hard work.
And this is where he made his name. This is where Star was born. Okay? In 2004 at this time. Now mind you, he was only in the Senate for 2 years before they urged him to run for president. By the time he jumped into the presidential race of 2007, well, Barack Obama was already named, and he was a rising star.
He was a rising star. He didn't come out of nowhere, as opposed to came out of somewhere. Nothing specific, just the hard work in Chicago.
I'm not saying Barack Obama was one of the worst. By what terms? How was it the worst?
He was not even born in the United States, and that's where the conversation needs to start.
Listen, he was.
You want me to break it down?
Break it down.
That's not what's being debated here.
Listen, he was the most consequential president of anybody that preceded him. The Affordable Care Act was passed.
Terrible.
Okay, you can argue it's terrible.
Can we keep it in context of 2007 of the article?
Listen, the Affordable Care Act was the most consequential piece of legislation that has ever been passed since.
Are you serious?
100%.
Yeah.
Who's talking right now? Who's talking? Who's talking?
The Affordable Care Act is the most important legislation and spending package ever drafted by anybody.
That's that boy from Nepal. That boy from Nepal.
Fucking bankrupted the country.
That boy's from Nepal.
I know you're not American talking like that, bro.
Yeah, so Rudra,
He's American.
Hold on, let's bring some context into this. Hold on. To be fair, look, we weren't talking about Obama's presidency. This was the lead up to Obama's presidency. However, just so everyone's aware, if you're paying very expensive rates for your health care right now, that's due to the Obamacare because they had sundown.
Shenanigans. That's not true at all.
No, this is very true. Hold on, this is very true. They had sundown.
Trump is the one that changed he took away the Obamacare. What am I doing?
The one thing you're not going. Hold on. Obamacare's still in place. There was sundown law inside the law. There was sundown 15 years after when the subsidies would run out. Now those subsidies have run out. Now we can complain about the Republicans and the Democrats not doing anything about it. But to say this is the most influential legislation ever in place, bro, this was just a money grab. It's only made elitists rich. What has it really done for Americans?
Yeah, so what you guys, if you're not old enough to actually be an adult and a citizen when this actually went down, you have no perspective. Okay? And I'm not saying that to be pejorative or mean. Okay?
No, I agree with that. I do.
So then why are you talking about World War II? Why are you talking about
I'm not talking about that. Don't words in my mouth. What you're talking about
in general,
the basis of this was Romneycare. Okay, Romneycare was excellent.
Mitch, you talking about Mitch Romney?
Yeah, Romneycare.
Oh yeah, you're an idiot. I can't talk about that. This is weird.
We gotta have one mic. If we don't have one mic, I'm just gonna start pushing.
So let me
we're gonna try and have a conversation.
So we get to the end of the 20th century. Okay, so you had Romneycare, which did a bunch of things. One, it said, hey, look, you can change jobs, you can still keep your health care, and that's what it was based on, Romneycare. Okay, and it also allowed domestic partners within 6 months of establishing residence be on the same health care plan. Back in that day.
It's actually 14 months.
Okay, well, it wasn't in Massachusetts. Okay, so you know, because I was there. Okay, you weren't. So it was 6 months. All right, so you can have pre-existing conditions, and you can have domestic partner unmarried. Okay, and everybody loved it. That's why everybody was like, "Oh, Obamacare's getting great." And then what you got, Obamacare's gonna be great. It's just a disaster. It's like an 800-page document charging boomers for selling their property and funding. Like the whole thing was a disaster. Okay, and it made nothing but healthcare more expensive in the United States, and it ruined all of it. I'm sorry, it's just the fucking truth. If you don't believe that, because you weren't there.
Can I respond to that, please? Can I respond to that? And so here's the problem. We're looking for the picture. But when Obama first came into office, he said in his first inauguration speech
that the engagement. He said to the Republicans, he said he said they every person is
Your microphone is kind of bad, sis. You said some good stuff here.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
It's not the same, but it's not cut down.
It's cutting.
Okay. It was not. It's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to fix that. The idea that Obama said he was coming to school with both parties is something that he told us when he first came into office, and even after the midterms, when we pushed, for the Democrats to be the majority in the House, and he put Obamacare or the Affordable Health Care Act on the table, they still chopped it up. They chopped it up so much to what we have today, and that wasn't his initial proposal. His initial proposal was much larger, and I kind of always put it like this: he gave an encyclopedia to the White House, and they gave him back a Jehovah's Witness pamphlet, and we're all scrambling and arguing about this Jehovah's Witness pamphlet that Congress only passed. But the bulk of what he was trying to pass, the bulk of what he proposed, was played with and denied across the board. And we're still in 2026 are thinking that the dumb shit, the Jehovah's Witness pamphlet that we got, is what he proposed. It's not what he proposed. He proposed something greater. And I want to extend that by saying that after Obama's last term, here comes Trump, right? And Trump's campaign, in one of his speeches that I heard, he said that, this is right after Obama, he said that Black people need their own healthcare system. And I asked myself, where the fuck did that shit come from? So I went to AI and said, because I was having an argument, where did he say that? Where did Trump say that? And AI said, he said that a lot in his campaign. He just said in one speech, he said throughout multiple speeches in his campaign that Black people need their own healthcare system. Well, yeah, that makes fucking sense. Because he's trying, there's a Band-Aid that's trying to be fixed in healthcare in this country. That is, I know why people need, I know the healthcare system in general is broken, but there's a significant problem with Black healthcare. And people in Congress and people in politics are trying to solve that problem.
You mean the American healthcare system?
Problem. And in the original Obamacare, he was trying to solve that problem along with a whole lot of other problems with healthcare across the board. And it just didn't happen because we have a problem in Congress. And it's not a Democrat versus a Republican. It is a governmental problem with healthcare and how healthcare sees Americans and how carelessly they don't care. They distribute healthcare. For example, everybody in Congress, you have an ear, you listen. They all know that there's this problem that no one's willing to fix. It's too big a problem. And so all I want to say is, when you criticize the Affordable Health Care Act, you have to realize that Jehovah's Witness pamphlet that the Democrats squeeze through just to satisfy the rest of us is a bigger problem. This midterm shit that we're marching towards is not going to be a solution because there's really not much of a divide between the Republicans and the Democrats in the way that they handle our affairs. And so thank you.
That's great.
Yes, we're going to get some new voices. We have some contradicting positions on stage. Just the speaker before said that Obamacare was the greatest legislation ever passed. However, it appears Chaya is saying that it had flaws in it, and it wasn't really what Obama wanted to put in pass as legislation, and that he should be giving reprieve because it's not really what it has lived, as they lived up to what they sold it as, right?
That's how my. I would like to address what Shania had said also too, because there was a lot of important points that she had identified. One, we are gonna agree that if Obama said he was gonna do Obamacare, the Obamacare that we expected, it never went to pass. And we all knew what he promised. It was supposed to be free health care for everybody. It was supposed to be, in the likes of...
There ain't no such thing as free, motherfucker. It just ain't.
What my understanding is. Yet there were some changes that happened in the process. I don't know if it was his administration side, but based off of what you guys said, you probably know that certain machines had different calibrations for different races. And one would say that if you're a black man or a black woman, if you're black, then your blood sugar, you are able to sustain a certain blood sugar, so therefore it's only at this level where you were susceptible to having diabetes. And we found out that because they did skew the machines, they had the machines at a foundational industrial in a play-by-play build this way mindset that we as black people have had to deal with different illnesses because their machines wouldn't even give us the room to validate us being sick. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, y'all. I feel like y'all are getting what I'm saying. Is that they hate the machines. If someone else could give that and share that with the room,
well, quantum. Yeah, so hold on. This is a little bit of code because the Democrats had 60 senators coming out of Barack Obama's election in 2000 when he took office in January of 2009. They had 60 senators. They controlled the House. They could pass any legislation they wanted. Democrats could write anything inside this law that they desired. However, now we're hearing, and I would agree, it didn't turn out the way that it was sold. Now, why would Barack Obama lie to us when he had the opportunity to literally pass any type of legislation he wanted at the time?
And I disagree. Like, what Donald Trump, what the other, his constituents and
but why did Barack Obama lie was his question. Why did Barack lie?
I do believe that Barack lied. I do believe he lied.
But you said
I think that he knew that he wasn't able to
he said he's not
No, it was already proven. He lied about his birth certificate. That was proven. You can go to YouTube and type in Barack Obama birth certificate. No, but it's factually established by forensic analysis that his birth certificate was fake.
And I believe
it was not a real birth certificate.
I do know that. I do believe that. I do hold that to be true in my heart. I feel like Obama wasn't good for us. But let's talk about why he knew that what he presented to us wasn't going to fly. And this is what politicians do. They're lawyers to begin with. Do you hear me?
And it's not just that, it's the elite that also control the
Unfortunately, yes.
When you have like Freemasons, you have secret societies that people try to call out because that's the thing that's running it, and even the APAC stuff that was running things back then, but not to include them for the Obama thing. But just going back to like secret societies, all that stuff runs, and also the people who sponsor them and things like that. Those people are the people that they're trying to appease. So at the end of the day, it's just like when we say puppet, those are the people that's puppeting. And so at the end of the day, when we try to put everything on, Obama, he can be like a scapegoat for racists too, also to put everything on him too, also because he can't do everything in front of all these people. They have a legacy to like they'll kill anybody. They kill presidents already before. If this guy dared to try to even touch the topic of a thing that they didn't like again, they are like they're just like a bunch of kings and queens descendants just sitting there waiting for somebody to dance and try to give us a good show, and so to make us feel like we got freedom. That's exactly what's happening. They're just like, hey, let's let one little black token Negro to get in there, and that way we can feel like we're, we maybe can let loose a little bit too. Also, by the way, we got.
His mother was white Jewish. What do you mean? What do you mean Negro? His mother was white Jewish.
Hold on.
Bro, relax.
Hold on. So this is hold on. I swear, hold on. No, you.
No, Roger Mod. Hold on. Young, look, we need some clarification. Was Barack Obama tap dancing for the white elites when he passed this?
Oh, they all were, but I was saying Obama. I don't think he was tapping too much. He just kept it where it was at. A lot of things got released under him, and it is made to look like, hey, your black guy did all this, but they actually know they're just using that for a moment, just to pass all their exotic things through him. You know what I mean? And they do that with Trump too. Also with Trump.
Young, sorry to interrupt. Do you think racism is over, like a lot of people say, because we had Obama?
I believe.
I was asking Young. Thank you. Young, go ahead.
Yeah, straight up, Moose. Sure. Hold on, yeah, I think I would say racism is always going to continue until either God come back, Christ, whatever, whenever we come back. I think racism is a thing that happens with comparison. And I think it happens with the chain, what do you call it, the cycle of life. And I think that's the reason why murders and deaths happen. So racism happens with animals, happens with us kids, and all types of beings. So I think it'll continue until God levels things out, whatever.
I want to hear what you were saying before he asked that question, because you were on the roll, and I think you were coming to a conclusion that we probably would have agreed with, Young.
Okay, yeah, the closure about it is that these are descendants of kings, queens, and it's all a game. It's just commerce to a lot of these people, and we're just guinea pigs, and descendants of people who are guinea pigs to them. And so at the end of the day, it's all look like a show. Like as a rapper and an entertainer, we all know that it's a show. We get our views, we pay for the views, and we get put out there, and everybody think that they're being recommended by YouTube because oh yeah, you showed up on my. No, we paid for that. That's how we got in front of your face. And so like a lot of these people who are puppeteering and stuff like that, they're the presidents, they're the political people who's in our face and stuff. We hear that, but we never break it down. And so knowing that, just to mention a president, when you hear somebody say a president, they do have their autonomy. They do have the right to speech and all these things. But at the end of the day, I already said it. So I mean, like, that's all. I'm not gonna keep
Okay. Let me ask three questions. Number one, where do we want to start?
I can start. Why are you gay?
Hold on, Rudra. I knew you wanted to come in. I want to give you the mic.
Rudy, will you forfeit your mic to me? Rudy? Where's Rudy in this room?
Bro, you're already talking, bro. You had the ball. You just had to Rudy and rude you out.
Look, your bitch ass is just mouthing away while this guy he's not even ready, okay?
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
That's 500. Why are you gay?
Shout out to Africa. Fight.
Yeah, go suck a Jewish dick, okay? Go suck a Jewish dick. Don't ever talk to me like that.
Shut up.
Wait,
all right. We're gonna have a normal conversation and maintain decorum.
Okay, wait. I just want to tell Bima. Did you hear that Hayden Panettiere died today?
Oh my God, she's late.
Okay.
No,
yeah, that happened this afternoon.
I'm so in love with you always.
But Peter Thiel died?
I just got here.
Yeah.
But it was already my
Peter
turn.
Thiel died?
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Peter Thiel.
She stood for a lot of cultural things, like a lot of moral, virtuous things.
Y'all understand that the underlying narrative behind that death is that it could have been a suicide or an overdose, right?
Well, because I saw her.
And he's white.
Yeah.
They always say.
Hold on, yeah.
Yeah, they love that shit.
I saw an interview recently with Jake Study, and she talked about all like the things that went on in her childhood and her addiction, consequences for addiction and stuff like that, but she seemed that she had like gotten herself together. But that's actually really sad.
Postpartum,
Yeah,
they mentioned postpartum as well.
Yeah, yeah. Never admit to that. Somebody just told me just recently, you gotta say, I am not suicidal. Like, you gotta say that. Because you gotta let people know, hey, because that's their dirty game. But in order for you to make them rise, they gotta get you to say certain things. They know it's what you signed up for. So say at least this. That way we have you on a leash in your fame and all those things, and also your downfall. That's why I think a lot of artists get why they fall off, quote unquote, fall off. These niggas, when I say niggas, I mean all people. Most of these artists, they are very creative until they die. So these people back up for some weird reason, not because they fell off. I don't believe any of that shit. It's in your spirit to be an artist till you die. Even if you die, it's probably gonna be there. So I think they're so weird in the music industry. It's so fucking just so, I don't know, just evil. Not everybody, but they always want something. Like they can't just love you. They can't just love what you do. They gotta tie you to something, like out of their jealousy. Like
Yeah, but it's unfortunate that this young white woman and a mother, had her life cut short. It's like, why couldn't it be one of them nappy-headed, mumbling rappers? One of them long, flat-footed, Negroes. Just with the head going in 5 different directions and a bunch of baby mama and bastards all over the place. It's like, why could we cut a life like that short? Sucking up resources on a government dime as opposed to this young white woman that just had a baby. I mean, it's very sad.
People don't respond to that. Black people on stage don't respond to that. Let them have it.
So how recently did she just have a baby? Was it like a year?
Dr. Adams, don't be here. Let me console you. Don't be so sad a white actress guy. She actually is such a good actress. She's not really dead.
Oh, that's not funny. Moose, come on, you
Because everything he just said about black actresses is hilarious.
No, I don't think that's funny. I didn't.
Notice whenever Dr. talked, my conscience already said don't respond to. So I'm not responding exactly to what she said, but I thought it was ironic whoever said don't respond. I was like, I felt that every fiber in my being told me, like, that was the blackest thing I've ever seen from any human.
No, don't respond. Don't respond.
I'm saying I agree with you so much.
Yeah,
that's right. Listen to your boss. We know the women lead in your ilk.
Don't.
We know the women lead in your ilk.
Yeah, she stood for a lot of people though. From that, I mean, like, what do you call it? Bring It On, All or Nothing.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans. You know what I mean? Like she was very cultural. Like she didn't have no fear. And even as remember the Titans, she was badass in that moment. She was a kid.
In Heroes,
I just
wasn't Heroes?
Yeah, right, fact.
Yeah. And then she was on, okay, which I put, you showing me One Life to Live. You know those soap operas back in the day?
Yes, I heard of that. Yeah. I did not know you. That's crazy. That's crazy.
These are the days of our lives.
Yo, you know, and is it Andy or Ann?
Ann.
Okay, and you know what's crazy? I used to always make fun of those shows a little bit in a sense, but I watched them though, because Grandma, she always had us watch it. But you know what I'm saying? But with the glass, like notice everything was dreamy.
Yeah.
Like the glass was always shining. No, yeah, definitely. You remember those two twins? They were like old guys. They had white hair. Can't remember their names. Names by life all my children. I think it's that one. Oh my God.
I love it. Love it. Not gonna lie, us 80s babies, we had a really awesome childhood, for sure. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I wasn't in the 80s, but I envy anybody in here that was 80s. I look at their days, like, Full House and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My God, man. I remember coming to the earth, seeing my brothers, and seeing the clothes that they wore and looking at the videos. I was like, oh my God, this is a dream. And hearing their music, y'all's music, oh my God, bro. Like y'all walked out of heaven, like, I don't know.
80s was great. Like the 90s though, I really wasn't into that like grunge. It seemed like very emo music. Do you know what I'm talking about? that arrow was like depressing or something.
Well, I liked it because it's all out of you know what I'm saying? But it would definitely that was a good description too.
Wait, do we end the Obama conversation?
Oh, you still want to talk about that?
Definitely. Why not? Waste of time talking about that. You got a lot of
we have to admit that Obamacare was absolutely awful, right? I mean, here we are again now 20 years later. This is what the modern day Democrats do, is they create this stir, a lot of like, we're going to save the world, and then it falls flat and people make excuses for why it doesn't work out, and they say, well, we just didn't go far enough, we didn't do enough. Isn't that what Chai said?
To be critical is that when we vote every 4 years, something like that, the parties that we put in office all let us down. They all let us down. We're being controlled by 1% of our population, and we've been controlled by a very long time. And so you have all these presidents and all these Democratic politicians and all these Republican politicians who are being bought in the lobbying system that routinely tell us a story during the campaign and routinely let us down when they're in office. That's just across the board. And the uniqueness about Obama's presidency is, even though that's already a hard pill to swallow, that you get to a presidency and you have this idea and you want to make change and shit, you have this stubborn Democratic and Republican Party that are being sold off by the 1%. Here's Obama, who's a black man, and they don't want, and he said it, he's the only president who said this in his first inauguration. They're playing games with him. Every proposal that I put in their face, they won't even read. That is quote unquote what he said in his first inauguration. So he's got an uphill battle to climb on a hill that's already impossible to climb.
China, was it because he was black? He had the uphill.
I will say this. No other president has said that. No other president's inauguration starts off with okay, so then,
every president that has ever been president face pushback in politics.
And we're not talking about pushback. So not only are
they all face pushback, right?
But yeah, and so you're agreeing with me. I'm just saying. Obama's
because he was black.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, because I didn't say black. I said Obama. What I said was he told us, because I'm an old lady and I've gone through many presidencies, but I don't remember any president saying the things that he has said about his cabinet or the people he was facing. But my bigger point is not his particular climb, because his particular climb was a lot steeper. What my point was is that it's both the Democrat and Republican Party. You can't say we put all Republicans in there and we get what we want. When we put all the Democrats in there, we get what we want. And history has proven that none of that is true. Go back to that. Nothing is true. No Republican Party has gotten in there and has given us, the public, the people, the things that they promised in their campaigns. Anything that they have promised us during their tenure in office, they haven't done that. I'm getting an echo. Where am I getting that? Because I can't even hear myself.
No, I understand. I'm agreeing. No, I'm agreeing with you saying.
I just want to finish without. But I just want to finish without the echo.
Look, my point. I was just agreeing with what you were saying.
Yeah, Trump said he was going to shut down the border. He shut down the border.
How? Can I finish? But can I finish without interruption? Can I finish without interruption?
Trump said no new wars. Trump said no. Y'all niggas got diseases in y'all brains, boy.
3 out of 4.
Tanya, please finish. Go ahead. Just
I want that. So what I have decided in this room is to just not make too many plays. Y'all want to hear what I have to say? Y'all.
I do.
I won't fight it. I just won't fight it. I'm just my point. Even let's look at right now. America's all campaigning around the midterms. Where in history have the midterms and us overturning versus them overturning has it ever made a real impact on our day-to-day fucking lives? It just hasn't. It just hasn't. It doesn't matter which party has the power in the White House. They just do not, because they're bought out. All of them are bought out by this lobbying system. That nothing matters. We're in a fucking stalemate. It's the government and the lobbying power and the American people who are fucking suffering. That's my bigger point.
Right. So yeah, I probably get most people in this room that are agree with you on the establishment.
It's not true.
Alan, let me finish. Please don't interrupt me. I love you, and I haven't seen you in a long time.
Sorry, I couldn't wait that long.
Yeah, you can. Okay. No, you better say out.
Hey, I don't want to wait.
You're ready. So try it. What do you think is a solution to this? What would you like to see moving forward?
The first thing, like historically, the electoral, whatever you call them, people.
The electoral college.
Yep, I want that to be gone. That's the first thing.
So you're going to the DSA level. You want to change the whole system.
Yeah.
That we're going with. Yeah, keep going. I'm not going to interrupt you. I just lay it out loud.
The answer is yes. Did you hear me? Yeah, the answer is yes. The electoral college needs to be gone. That's first off. Like everybody has said that my entire life. My entire life, that's the biggest rub against this system is the electoral college.
Yeah,
so let that go away.
Hold on. Because you monologue a lot. So when you make like bold statements like that, it incites where people want to respond. So Chaya, ultimately you want to take away the rights of states and just lump it all into a system where every vote, regardless of where they're from or if they're legal or not, counts, right? And states don't matter.
So it's funny you said illegal or not. You get rid of the electoral,
right?
No, I don't know that part. That's not my.
No, we know very well. We know very well. Are you familiar with?
But that's not my.
What do you mean?
Not, when I vote or when I register to vote as an American citizen, I expect the system to understand who's American, who can vote, who can't vote. That's not my problem. That's another problem. Because when I vote, I know the process. I know that I.
You're just talking out. Are you confident? Hold on. Are you confident that the election system is adequate? That the only votes that are counting are American citizens? But
just like I am confident that my phone is not being scammed right now because there are a whole lot of systems in place for my phone not to be scammed. It's not that my phone cannot be scammed, but there are a lot of systems in place to try to make sure that I can have a conversation with y'all without anything without being scammed. There's systems in place to protect some shit. And so I think there's systems in place to protect that the vote in the United States is coming from a United States citizen. I don't worry about that. If your systems are not in place or your systems are fucked up in some way, that you let people who are not American citizens vote, you need to solve that fucking problem. That is not my fucking problem. That's not just because
we machine gun.
My problem.
Hold on, Chai. You answered the question. The issue is if you dismiss the electoral college, then it does become everyone's problem if another state has illegal votes or not.
And they need to, and the powers that be, need to solve their security issues. That's not the problem. The problem is,
hold on. No, but it becomes your problem. Do you agree? It becomes your problem if we start counting all votes not according to per state, but as a nation, it all gets lumped into the same pot. Then it would be like, then it would matter to me being in the state of Alabama, how the state of California or the state of Minnesota runs their elections. Would you agree?
Which question you asked me is not relevant. For me, as a public,
hold on. What do you mean it's not relevant? Yeah, I mean, logically speaking.
Doesn't understand
the question. Don't answer my answer.
Hold on. Do you under? No, it's not. You didn't give an answer. Do you understand the question I'm asking?
So there's two parts. If you have to change, would you change?
Why do they think they're talking to rational people?
We got that.
The second, okay, so that was actually the only answer. The second thing you're bringing to me.
So if you change, so then you answer.
The second topic you're bringing.
Hold on, Chaya. So we can be clear. Then you answered. However, so if we dismiss the electoral college, that right now that lumps our votes into per state, and our states count as a point system. That would then mean all of our votes would count. Not one vote, one person would count nationwide, and all votes would be counted nationwide. Do you agree? Can we agree on what you mean when you say get rid of the electoral college? It would be a popular vote. Do you agree on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. So we agree on.
Let me interrupt you. Let her steal man before she wants to cancel the electoral college. Let her defend why the electoral college exists in the first place.
James, why do you keep enabling Chaya to speak? Are you like her weight person?
No. I'm just.
Yeah, you are.
Get around!
Exactly. After like 15 minutes, I woke up, and then she was done, and then you asked her another question.
Right. So
just ask her out on a date, okay?
Probably unlike you, but anyways, so.
Oh my God!
Don't worry, it's going to be in
Yeah, I know you want her to speak, but
conversation.
Oh my God, we fucking found her.
Hold on. I got her to agree on what the definition would be when we got rid of the electoral college. Now, Chaya. No, let's just see if she agrees. At that point, if the nation changes to a popular vote, wouldn't you or me be concerned with how other people voted in other states?
The problem with the electoral college is a state called like Nebraska, and they are very scant people. If you don't have the electoral college, then the votes that come out of Nebraska don't exist. I understand why the electoral college is in place. It's in place because of population control. States like California and New York and Houston, I think, and Miami, these very populous states, they would dictate the outcomes all day every day because they have the population. I get that the electoral college is supposed to balance that population problem out. I get that part, right? It does negate the fact that electoral colleges own way too much power than the system that I just laid out is why they were put in place. Because you could potentially, and I haven't seen it in my history, you could have a whole California who are saying that
you're killing the room.
Stop asking me, because I don't want to talk. I got other shit to do right now.
They go to do something, it's a work done.
Y'all killing the room? I appreciate you, because I'm going to stop it right there.
Let's go to James. James, can you still man why the electoral college was in place?
She did already. It was by population. That we live in traditionally an agrarian society. Agrarian society has low population. You cannot have coastal high population, industrialized states overriding the national policy of states that don't have the same kind of financial, economic, population system. was like that was the whole point. So it was it's all the Federalist Papers.
Yeah, but there was more to it. Literally, in the Federalist Papers, it literally says the way to contain cheating from specific states. So, say a state like New York registers a bunch of illegals to vote in their election.
I'm pretty sure this isn't the Federalist paper, but go ahead.
No, it is used as a regulation against states for cheating, and that is in the Federalist Paper. You're not familiar with that, Jim?
That I don't think that was in there, but I'll believe you. So go ahead.
So it's intended to put a cap on states, because you have to think at that period of time they didn't. Each state had the right of how they were going to choose their electors.
Okay, yeah, I follow you now.
Technically speaking, a state does not have to have a popular vote for their state, right? A state could decide, hey, we're only going to allow our state legislature to choose.
What happened in Jersey?
Yeah, well, that's just how the history of our country is. So it was left for each state to determine who they were going to vote for the president, and that would be a way to regulate and not allow a state to run away with the power. Yes, today we look at it as population, because we all just kind of accept that the popular vote in my state is how we elect the president. Technically, it wasn't intended that way from the first place. It was just left up to the determinations of states. Now, they've tricked us all into believing that the collection of votes of my state is what selects the electoral college slate from the state, but it's not. It's still the state legislature. Like, the state legislature is still what appoints the slate.
Job is a certified board the only job. It's regulation. So the only job. We're not swaying anything. The only job is to elect them and regulate.
They do. I think that they do sway things, because how does Hillary Clinton lose?
And I agree. I think that's the issue with the electoral college, is that they can be influenced by politics. That's the problem. So I agree. But the main focus in the very beginning, which was the original question, the only job is to regulate and certify votes.
How they're being bought out is the crux of my problem. I appreciate the population leveling is when they can be bought out, despite what their state, how they have their state votes, is the crux for me. So we need to get rid of it, because they're also bought.
Fine, I'm sorry.
Politicians, let's see, mega corporations, people with influence who pay the highest taxes to that municipality.
Just sitting politicians cannot be part of the electoral college slate.
Influence.
They are party representatives. So just so we're familiar with how it actually works in real life, is that each state the parties of each state, so the Democrats will select a slate, and that will largely be large donors or party representatives of that party. So the Democrats will select a slate, and the Republicans will select a slate, and then the state legislature chooses which slate actually issues the vote for president based upon how that state voted in their popular vote.
Yeah, but Joe, so was it Virginia or Jersey that said that they were going to go by the national? They were going to override it? Like
there is a movement that they have largely, I want to say it's about 20 states that have said our state legislature will select the slate based upon how their vote goes. Now, it's a way to circumvent the electoral college by keeping in place the current form of the Electoral College, but instructing the state legislatures to appoint the slate of electors from either party, Democrat or Republican, based upon the popular vote.
So, Joe, you're saying that it can't be
The national popular vote.
Well, there's about 20 states that have signed on to it. However, they're not going to do it until they have enough states signed on board. So they need enough that reaches over 270. So they're withdrawing, moving forward with doing it until enough states do it. I think you need like 32 states or something to get on board to do this. They can pass state legislature that says rather than the popular vote of your state choosing or instructing the legislature of which slate to choose, then it would be the national vote that tells the legislature which slate to choose. Are people understanding this, or am I just too deep in the weeds?
No, you're making sense.
Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, cool. I want to make sure I don't want to get I don't want to drain people out. So that's technically exactly how it works. So Chaya...
Can I pose a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Oscar.
Okay, so does that not seem like just like the purpose of it, like whatever you think it is, doesn't it seem like in effect a way to dilute the will of the people? What's your position in that regard?
Yeah, it would be the will of the people of each state. So technically, I don't know what all states y'all come from. I come from Alabama. Maybe we give some others to say what state they come from. It would.
I'm in Mississippi.
All right, Mississippi. So the state of Mississippi, when you guys vote for the president, you're instructing your legislature to appoint a slate based upon who the people and the will of the people of Mississippi have selected to vote for president. Yes, it would circumvent the will of the people of the state of Mississippi if the state of Mississippi changes their law to follow who the national vote would be. And then we would all really ultimately be at the mercy of the media. And the media choosing who the president is, because we know, I mean, what's it take for the CNN or Fox News to just say, well, this person has received the most popular votes, and that's who each state should then point their slate on.
I get what you're saying. You're against the idea of, California deciding what Mississippi does. And I'm from Mississippi, and I'm a proud Mississippian. And one thing about Mississippi, we didn't get rid of prohibition until a few years ago. So we do our own thing. So I totally kind of understand that perspective on things. But I'm just I don't know, bro. How do we get a situation where we elect Clinton, but we got Trump? You know what I mean? How would you diagnose that situation as far as what everybody wanted was this thing, but then we got this thing?
I don't know. I think you're making it something that people actually wanted her.
I didn't want her. Okay, just to be clear. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
To answer your question, the point is that if we went to pure popular vote, then the vote for president would always be decided by the large cities.
Bro, no. Just to be clear, I understand that. See, Joe seems to know more. He seems to know in the weeds of everything. And so I'm asking, what's his, prognosis on exactly why it is that, overwhelmingly the country can, lean a particular direction, but then we still, for some reason, end up in a situation where someone's president that didn't get the most votes. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying, what specifically, I don't know if he knows the specifics of the 2016 election or the 2020 election or what have you. And I would wonder, do you believe that the 2020 election was stolen? So, Joe, kind of speak to that, man. Because you seem like you know a lot, the details and stuff, and I don't. So I'm just listening.
Talk about that. I don't know if the percentage split was as large as you think. So Hillary Clinton received 48.2% of the vote. She got 65.8 million votes. Donald Trump received 46.1% of the votes. He received 62.9 million votes. So we're looking at just shy of 3 million votes that separate the two. So at 2% of the country. So I don't think it was like as wide a margin as they make it out. And when you look at the state of California, there are more registered Republicans, 4 million registered Republicans in the state of California than the entire population of Alabama. So when you have this disparity in different states' populations, I mean, clearly California could have an additional 2 million, 3 million, 4 million votes. We can certainly water down the influence of many other states, not just Alabama, but lots of states. They would have the influence over, and if we don't have any way to regulate how California does it. So the point I'm making is like, hey, sure, to respond to kind of how Chai was saying, sure, if we go ahead and go with a popular vote, then I want to be able to have an influence in say in who gets to register in California's election system.
Right. That's just rational. So I have two questions. The first one is there any evidence of actual illegal people voting? Illegal immigrants, that is, voting? Like, is there any kind of, like, data in that regard? And the second question, one moment, and the second question would be, how would you feel about ranked choice voting? But that first one, I'm very interested in. That's all. Hold on. So here just recently, James O'Keefe last week released videos. He was in Minnesota because Minnesota had their primary last Tuesday, and they can register people based upon a voucher system. So if me and you live in the same zip code or voting district, if we were in Minnesota, I can say, hey, I'm vouching for Oscar. I know he's not registered, but I can vouch and say Oscar lives in this district, and I am the ID for Oscar. And Oscar, you can come along and vote. So some states have very loose regulations on how they register people to vote. That leads people to certainly believe that, there's cheating going on. So just to be clear, so you're saying specifically in Minnesota, this coverage from James O'Keefe, and if you could like post a link or anything, anybody who has access to this coverage, post something in like the thing so I can kind of look it up. But so you're saying that in Minnesota, it's possible for someone to vouch for someone to register to vote, and that come through as an actual registration. You know what I mean? Like that, does that actually? Does the person, because eventually, go ahead.
The day of the vote, the day of the election, someone can go into the poll and say, hey, my friend, even though they're not registered, I can vouch for them and they can come along and vote. And up to 8 people are allowed, you're allowed to bring 8 people unregistered to the poll to go and vote. Yeah, this is a Minnesota law. So I'll post all that for you right now. I'll give you a bunch of different links on that.
So the idea that if we eliminate the Electoral College doesn't eliminate the problem. The Electoral College doesn't regulate that problem. It doesn't do that. It just collects the goddamn votes and decides whether they're going to be paid enough to do something different from what their state is suggesting. They have nothing to do with security of votes any more than anybody has a stronghold over my black ass going to any federal building. and giving them all of my personal credentials and not expecting that my personal credentials are not safeguarded by scammers, money launderers, anybody who could do some nefarious things with my personal information. When I go into a federal building, I feel it might be the wrong thing to feel, but I feel a security that the American government, even though they are protecting the American citizens from outside sources who are not American, they are also securing my black ass and your white ass from nefarious people within the country. Because they have security measures, they have the CIA, the FBI, and all that dumb shit that they have to protect the right. No, I'm not done. And I'm going to land here. To protect the citizens. So if I go to goddamn vote and I'm not legal, I am not legal, I can imagine that beyond the Electoral College, there are safeguards put in place in these United States that make sure that anybody who votes is a United States citizen and can vote. That is one problem. The security of the voting pool and the ability for people who are not U.S. citizens to also vote. That is not an Electoral College problem. That's a national security problem. And so let's not mix those two together, because in this conversation we're mixing those two shits together, because the people we elect to the Electoral College don't have the power to decide what security measures we put in place to make sure that people who are not American citizens cannot fucking vote. Those two different things. And the fact that we are blending them in some kind of fucking way is weird to me in this conversation. So thank you.
We explained.
No, sorry.
Blending them. But to answer
you got to blend them, bro.
The reason why
I need to figure out this
is because, like we saw in Los Angeles, that the two top contenders were Karen Bass and Spencer Pratt, who was a Republican. And then at the last minute, what they did in order to eliminate Spencer Pratt from the primaries is they paid a bunch of homeless people in Los Angeles on Skid Row. They paid them $1 a piece to vote for the third place, some Indian woman, I forget her name, and miraculously, in the middle of the night, she gained all these votes and advanced to second place in a district that, and she got something like 95% of the votes, which is statistically impossible. So, and you're seeing a lot of that where in the middle of the night, all of a sudden some person surges ahead with an unrealistic and statistically impossible share of the votes. So that's why this ranked choice voting, they're just using it now to eliminate Republican candidates. At least that's what they're doing in California. So I don't agree with it. I think each party should have its primary, and then the two winners of the primary go against each other.
Yeah, ranked choice voting is is a proxy.
Well, hold on, one thing. I promise you, my vote can be sold. If you want to knock on my goddamn door, give me, I don't know, what's my price? $700,000. There it is. $700,000. You knock on my goddamn door, I will vote the way the whole fuck you want me to vote. That's
okay, Shan, you a sellout. Okay, all right. Let somebody else. No, just.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like a lot less money for that. Actually, I think it was like what, $6,800 for 10,000 votes was the going rate.
Okay. So, okay. All right.
Oscar,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, first and foremost, Spencer Pratt is a complete idiot. He's a washed-up reality star who knew absolutely nothing about politics.
Ad hominems, bro. Ad hominems.
He was winning
this don't. I'm sorry. Did something that I say leads you to believe that it was
determined? So I'm responding.
No,
by the way,
no. That is not a question. I know that your education system may have failed you.
Okay.
I'm good. I know that you may or may not, be experiencing early onset dementia, but I'm going to need you to understand that unless a question has been asked while the speaker is talking, that is not a time for your geriatric ass
talk, bro. Just
to
let
go.
him finish.
Like, let's not. Let's not.
Let him finish.
Let's
Let
not.
him just
Because I
finish, bro.
still have
Just
smoke
let
for
him finish.
people. Let's not.
You said you were going to find me and Ray.
Let's not. No, nobody wants to fuck your old ginkgo biloba having ass.
I got to get control of the room. Listen, I've put the post up here. And here's the link. James O'Keefe dressing up in Muslim garb, bringing a transgender, a Muslim, or a person portraying themselves as a transgender Muslim, dressed up in a burqa, vouching for them to be able to register to vote on primary day. Look, Minnesota has a very loose registration process.
Did anybody vote? Did they go ahead and try to vote?
Well, you'll have to watch the video.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch the video. However, the idea is to display how loose their registration system is, and this is just one small microcosm of other states. They tend to be very blue states that are just open for anybody to be able to vote. But look, we're going to give JJ a time to respond. JJ, we're talking about the Electoral College, how Democrat states are very loose in their registration requirements and also voting process. If you'd like to chime in on that.
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting for everybody to mic up because I really don't want to have to be yelling at everybody. Like, let's not. Timothy, you already know how I feel from the last. So, we need to get shit in order. If I'm definitely for that because I believe that election integrity is important. I don't like people lying and fear-mongering about it like Trump, but I do understand that shit needs to be tightened up. So I have no problem with that. That's not necessarily a partisan change issue. Like, that's more of we need to just have better candidates that are vetted and, better governance to make sure that this shit doesn't happen. It's absolutely ridiculous for people to be able to exploit the electoral process to try to cheat the system. Like I was saying before, Spencer Pratt is a joke, and that's why he lost. I think it was trash or Republican that Trump tried to step in and bitch about his loss, but that's what Trump does. Anyway, this shit that at the top of the screen, I think it's absolutely disgusting. But again, I don't think it has anything to do with the actual transgender community. I think it has to do with people trying to game the system, which I'm totally against. The last thing I wanted to say is to what you said, Joe. This is my thing with the Electoral College, right? I think that I reject the notion that every state has the same value. I reject the notion that every state needs the same voice. I think it's really problematic when we live in a democracy. I know people like to call it constitutional republic, whatever, conservatives say that's fine. But at the end of the day, when people vote, their vote should be worth just as much as the next vote. And it's actually not when we're basically allowing, teeny weeny states in the middle of the country to have the same kind of voting power as New York, California, Texas, like the bigger states. I'm just sorry. It's like if you live in a smaller state, for the most part, you probably don't add as much value to the country as the bigger states, and I don't think that you should have the same voting power. But that's my opinion.
Clarifying question:
Shit.
Hold on. Clarifying question. JJ, are you in Are you in a big state?
Yeah. I'm in NYC. Like
So
I say that all the time.
Okay, cool. So you essentially you're arguing to give more power to your state, right?
Well,
just to be clear.
To be clear, yes. But even if I lived somewhere else, I wouldn't. I think I would maintain the same position because one person. My point is, one person should have the same amount of voting power as the next person, regardless.
Like you have something to gain from it.
Bro, okay. Can I ask him a question? Can I please ask him a question?
Yeah, I was
Can
going
I
to
ask him a
What's
question?
the name of the
Yeah,
country?
Oscar and then Alan. Go ahead, Oscar.
Okay, I appreciate you so much. So Jay, bro, now I don't know, bro. You sound like you're African American. I don't know if you're African American. Okay, so like, bro, imagine.
Shia, you don't know me personally. Like, please don't speak on me because I will derail this fucking room. You already said some bullshit early in another room. Don't do that, Shia.
He's not African.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You don't know me.
Hey, look, bro. If he's mixed or something, that's fine. Okay, but I'm saying you identify with that. But I'm saying, bro, if it was majority rule, bro, imagine a world where all of the white people just decided they hate niggas, like out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't that be a bad thing? I know you would probably say that that's to happen with Trump, but I'm just saying though, like, you know, like if majority really ruled, wouldn't that make the minorities a problem? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think in that regard?
I think that one, you hit it on the nail already without even maybe intending to, because we already have that. The majority does rule, at least in the voting power. I think that Democrats and sane people and moderates and what do you call it? What's the other independents need to galvanize and actually put I'll say this, non-Republicans back into office, because there's a way this shit is going down right now is very, very problematic, and I think that the country needs a brief.
For whom? Who's it problematic for?
It's problematic for anybody who's black or brown. It's problematic if you got an accent. It's problematic if you don't have a passport, which literally millions of Americans don't, and you want to vote. It's problematic for people who are just trying to buy gas and groceries at a normal rate. Okay. How are you gonna tell me as a white woman who I can speak for in the black community? That shit is weird.
Me as a person, I only can speak for myself.
Okay, but what's
I was asked the question like
getting a passport? What systemic barrier is keeping you from getting a passport?
No. Money first off. But
Here to cape for him. Girl, baby girl.
All right, so let's get it
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I said.
See, the thing is,
after Oscar, Alan. Yeah, go ahead, Alan.
We are in the current moment. There are people who feel like they don't like the state of the government. They don't like who's running the government. And they know that if they went to a simple majority voting system, that they would gain an advantage, and it would be very difficult then for another party to gain access to the White House. But this is exactly what the founding fathers sought to prevent, and which is exactly why they put in the Electoral College, because democracies always fail. Mob rule always fails. And Oscar's example was the perfect example of that. If white people, first of all, white people are not by and large racist against black people, even though there are those who would like to portray that they are, et cetera. But if we decided, gee whiz, we're tired of black people and we want to do something about it, then the majority rule would enable that to happen. So the people who are advocating for a popular vote only system are doing it because in the moment they feel like they would gain an advantage, not realizing that it would in the end be their demise. And that, again, our founding fathers understood this. And this is why we have the system we have. It's not called the United People of America. It's called the United States of America. So our system is founded around a state identity, not a city identity, not a party identity, United States. We each have diverse and inclusive states.
I love how he gets to talk in this cadence and nobody interrupts him. But when I talk and I talk fast, I get interrupted. It's really weird.
Well, that's okay, Jim.
No, it's not okay. That wasn't for you to comment. I'm just making an observation. I'm just making an observation.
And I interrupted.
Because he literally talks like he's slow, and it's okay.
The last submission you made, I didn't interrupt you. You were right, but I will land with this. Each state brings a diverse, unique, and inclusive contribution to our country. And wouldn't it be terrible if that diversity was destroyed because of the popular vote? If you want to be progressive, you need to keep the Electoral College to preserve the diversity that our founding fathers baked into our system.
So Alan,
they were geniuses.
So Alan, these are the United States, and there's no visa requirement or no passport requirement for Americans to move from state to state. It's fluid. Correct. It's not as stringent as you. It's not as stringent as you propose it to be, because
where did I made no such claim, Chaya.
I'm trying to respond to you though, Alan. Okay, the fact that our population, Alan, I'm not trying to challenge you.
I can't answer a question that I didn't say.
I didn't ask you a question yet, though, right?
Well, so you're starting with a premise I didn't make.
I am starting with. Can you let me give my premise? So the idea that the populations in the United States is fluid, and this concept of we are the United States and we separate the states, we're fluid. And so a lot of us will move away from Nebraska and we move to Chicago, or we'll move to DC, and then we'll kind of all go to Washington State, or go to California, or go to Texas. We're still American citizens, regardless of where we move, because when we use states as a thing in the United States, and we don't have to have passports or shit to go from one state to another state, means that we're a united people, not necessarily the United States. We are united. We are American.
They name it the United People of America.
And the right that has been given to us is that we are able to move from state to state and not have an allegiance to any fucking state at all. There could be some kind of popular situation happening in fucking Nebraska, and we'll all move to goddamn Nebraska, and Nebraska will be the populous state. It can happen fucking overnight, because we have that fluidity in the United States as American. And I think what's more important.
What are you saying?
What's more important, and I'm getting here. What's more important is that we're American citizens. When I interact with the government, because we sometimes have to interact with the government, like vital records and sometimes shit like that. The questionnaire that they give you in these phone calls is fucking really. How many teeth did you have in your mouth at 4 years old? Because they know this shit. And where were you when you were 12?
I've never been asked
that.
They
know this shit.
Are you against diversity?
Can I finish? No, I want to finish this without interruption. Thank you very much, because I let you finish, Alan. What I did not do is disrespect you in the way that you spoke. Because I respect I respect the way you present
Jay literally just made a submission about you speaking uninterrupted, and you're interrupting other people.
Right. So Alan, I didn't interrupt you, and the people who criticize you, the way you present you speak slowly and methodically, and I respect that. Respect me at the same time. The idea that I can when I interact with government entities, that they ask me some strange shit. When they ask me some strange shit to validate myself, ask my Social Security, ask my father, ask my mother, ask where I was at this particular time and date, and ask when I was this particular fucking time and date. I feel like naked by the time I get through this security man. I feel fucking naked because you know more about me than I think I know about my goddamn self. And so the idea that you can do that shit with me to validate who I am as an American fucking citizen, and at the same time you have people who are voting who are not American citizens. I have no choice to believe that, but to believe that people who are not American citizens who are voting, someone's allowing that shit because of the scrutiny that I get from the American the systems, the agencies I interact with, that they know too fucking much about me. I didn't even fucking remember about my goddamn self.
Damn, girl, stop cussing so much. Shit.
God. You cannot tell me.
I like how
you cannot tell me. Come on, y'all, because this is come on. You cannot tell me that the American government has a hard time recognizing an American citizen. American.
Hold on, Chai. Why are you diverting the conversation so much? We're talking about elections. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the security over the elections. Did you not follow me?
No.
Security.
Yeah, I understood what you were saying. You're basically saying you go through so much that you are shocked to know that there are illegals.
Now someone has to talk for me. I
was just trying to show that I understood.
I stayed in the vein of the conversation.
You asked a question. You said, "Are you guys not following me?" And then Oscar was responding to you.
What?
Yeah, I was just saying. I understood what you were saying.
Why?
I wasn't following you. I would like Oscar to translate for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like she would. I think I'm mansplaining, and this is bad. But like just to be clear, Chai, I don't think I speak for you or anything like that. It's just that I was literally like for real responding to what you were saying. Like, do y'all follow me? But I followed you. Like that's what I wanted to respond with earlier when you first made this. Because you were.
Yes,
saying that earlier.
Yeah. Thank you, Oscar.
Yeah, like you were saying that earlier, basically, and that's why I posed that question to Joe. Is like, how is it that, like, are illegals actually voting? Like, is that, like, of course you can bring whatever, but like when it comes down to it, like, do they actually, like, does a vote get cast? Because I'm skeptical because, like what you said, with all the security measures and such, and I work in fraud as far as like credit cards and banks and stuff, so I see all of those questions that you get annoyed by. I'm one of the people that has to ask them. And so it's just, it's like, yeah, like how on earth is that happening? Is that really happening? So I understand your skepticism. And, you know, I didn't mean to be your translator. Like, I didn't mean to, I'm not trying to insult you or none of that. Like, I'm not, you know, I just was saying, like, I understood what you were saying. For real.
Thank you, Oscar.
Okay. So I actually, it's funny because even through a lot of, you know, ish galloping, like I actually agree with one thing, which is, you know, affirming my point. Like I don't understand why, like in the same way that like you were saying, Joe, like why or looking to me to, you know, basically say I have a bias. I feel like a lot of people who have the inclination to want to keep the current college, what you call it? What is it? This shit again?
Electoral college.
Electoral college. Yeah, I just feel it's giving small state mentality. I'm like, at the end of the day, when we're telling the people go out and vote, register to vote, you know, your voice matters. It really doesn't if, you know, one person's vote matters more than another person's vote or less than another person's vote. And, you know, especially when nowadays it's not really, first of all, this is the other thing. The founders were flawed in many ways. They got certain things right. I think that the Constitution was brilliant for that time. but we're not in that
not brilliant
time.
anymore.
We've actually gotten to
now the
have
time
the
is updated and
benefit
it's
of,
stupid.
The documented, like the fallout from, the history of this. We've gotten to witness the problems, the holes, the porousness of this document. And when you're not actually, when things are not, solidly founded in a lot of different areas, then it just can be like a complete shit show.
Okay,
there's no need for this shit nowadays.
How many corrective actions in the 250 years from the original Declaration of Independence and the Second Congressional Congress, how many course corrections have we made? How much blood and treasure have we made? And wouldn't you call that progress?
Yeah, I'm not saying that there hasn't been progress. What I'm saying is specifically when it comes to the electoral process and the fact that there's a lot of other things that the Constitution didn't get completely right. I just looked to this document.
What didn't they get right?
Okay, James, I'm speaking right now.
No, I want to.
Let that be your. Let that be. Let that be your last motherfucking
Just let him finish. It's not that difficult, dude.
Answer the question.
James, just let him finish.
Interruption. You're not a fucking mob. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Nothing.
It's giving effeminate. Like, relax. Say your shit after when I'm done. Yes, because you have or maybe just petulant child, like combination of both. Maybe you're trans. I don't know. Relax. Take a hormone. Relax.
All right,
now,
you're trans.
It's no. Well, actually, no. I'm a woman. So yeah, respect my pronouns.
You're a trans woman.
No, just a woman.
No, you're not a trans woman.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I aspire to be just like your PCR. Now, yeah. The electoral college shit, there's no need for it anymore. And the point that I was making, maybe a little bit clumsily, is that the 4,000... Always during my fucking submission. Okay, is that, what do you call it? The Constitution is not perfect. The forefathers didn't get everything right, so I don't look at them as the be-all and end-all to basically say, oh, well, we can't change any of this shit. Yes, we can. I think it's important, especially in our modern, voting structure, and I think it would empower people or motivate people to actually want to vote. How much of our country, how much of the electorate doesn't vote? People don't vote. So I think
nearly half the electorate doesn't vote.
Thank you, Marshall. Half of the country, and listen, I've done campaigning, and a lot of times what I hear from people is, my vote doesn't count. My vote doesn't matter. I've literally heard that many, many times. So if we actually, I'll land with this. Since apparently every time I speak, like, people have to get off their fucking mic and do weird shit. But y'all got it. What do you call it? If we actually made that change, I think we would see more benefit, and people actually coming out to vote and actually making, the country actually better,
Okay, JJ, what do you think they got wrong?
There's been about 15 course corrections that the United States has done since its inception nationally.
Thank you.
And as far as the electoral system goes, it wasn't just to give an equal voice to every state. It was to ensure against a populace, or more of having Congress have control of the presidency, which they shouldn't have. This is why we have 3 separate branches. They did not a Congress to be the ruling dictate over the entire nation, and particularly in times of the presidency, who is supposed to be also a check on balance of power. Also, they didn't want the president to just have a regional mandate. They wanted him to have a national mandate, which is why the electoral exists. And it's represented based on population by congressional votes, and then you get 2 for each senator, for a total of 4 extra votes out of there. Only 48 states give a national mandate to the winner takes all. Only 2 states, Nebraska and I think it's Maine, split their votes.
Yeah, it's Nebraska and Maine. They do it proportionally.
Yeah, so I mean, the electoral system works just fine to make sure that the president is president of a nation and not just New York or California. Those that wish for it are obviously operating from a urban area in a large state and really don't have the idea of what people face, such as in the Midwest, which was Hillary's problem, or what people in the Northeast face, and differences to the South, or we East to West. They're all a variety of different issues, and the reason we want a national mandate is so there is cohesiveness, not so that there is dissatisfaction. Otherwise, we would most assuredly have 50 countries rather than one nation.
So thank you for that. But Jay, let me ask you, give me 1 second. What do you think that they got wrong? What would you like to change? What is the founding failure? What would you like to see changed?
First and foremost, I think that there should be term limits within really the entire government. We have that for what do you call it, for presidents. We need. I think we actually need, first and foremost, term limits on the Supreme Court. I think that.
Well, why? Wait. Also, let me interrupt you for a second. Historically, and this is across the entire political spectrum, the Supreme Court is moderated more to our foundation documents, and this includes Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Like, there's a reason why they don't have term limits, because they keep going back to the original document, and over time, they become more originalist. So that's the story.
No, the reason they don't have term limits is because in England during the colonial period, the king could get rid of justices at any point in time, which is why our justices serve active behavior.
Right. But what I'm saying is historically they've become more originalist, and it's a career thing. It's a them returning to the document, and that's why it's a third branch. So why would you want JJ to have less experienced justices on the Supreme Court?
Less experience? What are you talking about experience? I'm talking about a term limit.
Yes, why would you want term limit for Supreme Court justices?
Because you should, first of all, the ruling on your first case should be just as good as the ruling on your last case. Like, I don't think these people, well, first and foremost, for me, the Supreme Court justices should already be judges who made rulings, who understand how rulings work, and who are able to stand by each and every ruling because there's such a significance of it. It's the highest court in the land. So I don't think that's something that you need to work your way into. No, you should come ready to go from day one and be able to stand behind each and every ruling that you make. And if you can't do that, then that's a problem. And we're seeing some of that now.
Well, so let me ask you this. Do you think someone at the age of 30 has the same viewpoint on the law and the understanding of the legal system and the foundation documents of the country as someone that is 50 years old, who has been sitting on the bench for 25 years?
Who is this fucking retard?
I think that you're making a you're trying to make a gotcha question, and it's
not a gotcha question.
No, because I'm saying that I personally don't believe, based on my experience and based on the things that I've witnessed and based on the stories that I hear, there are people who can sit on the bench for 20 years and not be doing shit, but farting and stinking up the bench. It doesn't mean necessarily that you're better simply because you have more experience. Like, that's not how the best works. I mean, we have a whole president who his whole campaign was, I'm an outsider, I don't have experience, and that was the appeal, right? So I just don't buy this whole thing about you need experience. Like, you need education, you need qualifications, but experience, no.
Yeah, let me ask you, just give me a range. How old are you?
No, I'm not
30s.
Yeah, no, 30s.
30s. Okay, fair enough. Okay. And
some perspective.
Okay, so do you think that your worldview is different at the age of 30 than it was when you were 17?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you think your worldview will be different from the age of 30 to when you're 50?
That's a difficult question.
Yeah, it is difficult. I have a question for that because I'm old. I'm the oldest person in the room.
I doubt it.
Oh God. We don't want to ask you anything.
Okay, hold on. We're getting way off. We don't need to be asking people's age. All right, James, you challenged me saying that it wasn't in the Federalist Papers. Federalist Paper number 68.
No, I believe you, Joe. I did. I conceded that. I was like, you know what? I just never heard that part of it. So
hold on. I want to state it. What it's talking about, the Electoral College was put in place because there was nothing more to be desired than that every practicable obstacle should be opposed to cabal, intrigue, and corruption. So if we allowed an area of the country to centralize the vote, because you have to think not everyone goes and votes, that you could have a cabal rise up through legitimate or illegitimate means and flood the vote system with votes, and all the states would then have to adhere to that cabal.
Yeah,
and that was literally the reason why they put the Electoral College in place.
Yeah,
it wasn't just
they were just picking territories. I mean, look at Montana. I mean, look at
Montana. At the time of the writing, at the time of the writing of the Federalist Papers and the Constitution, Montana wasn't grammar in their
What I'm saying is that they already saw this, because you take like Utah. Utah was almost like its own
Utah
country.
wasn't even a state. It wasn't even thought of.
I know that.
Utah doesn't come around till like 50 to 100 years later.
What I'm saying is they
foreshadowed this. No, they foreshadowed human behavior is what they looked at.
Yes.
They saw how people are, at the desire of power, people are corrupt naturally, and they will do everything for power. And the reason the Electoral College exists is to restrain that desire of corruption.
You and I are 100% in agreement on this one.
Okay, I asked a question.
I mean, that wasn't the purpose of the Electoral College to prevent corruption. It had nothing to do with it.
Look, did you miss it?
No,
hold on. Did you miss what I said? Literally, Federalist Paper number 68. This is.
Yeah, I know what the intended and what you're trying to parse out, but the step against corruption was the checks and balances that they put into. This is where the impeachment process comes in. This is why you can have censure, why you can have various methodologies that exist within our governments to go ahead and do this, most particularly the impeachment. We can impeach a Supreme Court, we can impeach a president, we can impeach a lot of people, even at the president's discretion. Any appointee that is chosen or confirmed by the Senate, we can impeach. These are not just simple little things. The Electoral College was more of not necessarily corruption, but a prevention of regionality power, most particularly during slavery, to prevent southern states from overwhelming like states like Rhode Island, New Jersey, etc. This is where the Three-Fifths Compromise comes into play. This is where a lot of things start to come into play and start to fall down when they started to frame the Constitution. But that part was not to ensure against corruption. What it was more along the lines was to ensure that regionality didn't occur, which would have gave power and dominance in one part.
Let me respond since you're challenging me. At the time of the writing of the Constitution and the Federalist Papers, which I'm citing here, Federalist Paper number 68, what the founders were afraid of was foreign entities seizing power of our government through the electoral process. The reason the Electoral College was put in place was to prevent foreign powers in their attempts to seize our government through corruption. That's literally what Federalist Paper 68 talks about. I'm just saying. Look, where's your source? I'm
Okay.
posting.
But you both are correct, because I mean, if you're referencing Federalist Papers, I think it's like in the
Here we
70s when
go.
you talk about firmness and being like the permanent nature of judicial, and like having senatorial will resist any kind of majority overpower or like whim of the masses. And I mean, you're correct, Joe, and you're correct. Like both of you, important parts of life. I honestly I cannot understand why people are still arguing for a banana republic. I think it's just because they feel like they are in majority right now, and they're willing to concentrate the power and have tyranny of the masses.
Okay.
But what they don't realize is, the whims of the fate are very fickle. And as soon as they are in minority and their rights not protected, they're going to be screaming for electoral college again.
But isn't that what we actually have right now? Is that not what's going on right now?
No, we do not have that.
No, it's not.
No. That's not. Okay.
I just have one question, please. I'm so sorry, JJ. It's just y'all had a whole back and forth. I just want to cheat a little bit. Give me a little bit of taste of this. Joe, I have a question. So everybody in this room who's an American citizen is required to pay taxes. How would you feel about American citizens being required to vote? Why, since we're trying to crack down on the illegals and such, why don't we just make it to where every American has to be educated enough? Because all of the things that you're explaining, the regular everyday American doesn't understand these things. And part of me thinks that that's by design. Part of me feels like it's supposed to be confusing to the peasant, so that way, only 50% of us even try to vote, and then when we do, our vote isn't necessarily even represented as far as popular vote is concerned. But hey, who needs that? Because slave owners could own everything. But go ahead.
James, I'll make it fast. James, he asked me, but I'll make it real fast and I'll just pass you the mic. That's called compulsory votings. Countries like Australia and Canada already have this. You already answered your own question, because the peasant class doesn't really understand the government. So should we get everyone to vote or face a fine? People will just walk in and vote for Mickey Mouse and shit like that. It's not going to make the population.
But why not also require a little, instead of the ad campaign thing that we have now, where basically voting for president is like picking between Coke or Pepsi. Why not have a system where every voter understands the position of the person? Go ahead.
Because that's not practical.
No, I'm going to answer this question for me. Hold on, Oscar.
No, not the way we work.
Hold on. Oscar, how do we increase the attention span of the average American from 30 seconds?
Well, I'm not really necessarily addressing attention span. But I'm just saying, if people are required to, what I'm saying, if you don't mind, just allow me to finish. Just allow me to finish very quickly. So in the same way that I was required to have a cursory understanding of U.S. history and science and such before I even graduated high school, I think that we can require something like that in basic education. And I think that we could train people. Go ahead.
Oscar, I get your point. Ultimately, though, it's at the force of power. So at the end of the day, you're requiring the state to use power to enforce people to have to vote, rather than the knowledgeable people or the people that care about the system doing it on their own accord, doing it by their own will. What if a free American does not want to participate in the system? Don't they have the freedom to choose not to? I believe they do.
Yeah.
That's a free.
I believe.
Society. If we require compulsory voting, no longer are we then a free society. Now we have the state that has to use their power to enforce, either through, literally probably be fines. That's what the other country does. But what if it escalated to that we're going to put you in jail if you don't vote? It can become ridiculous to a certain point. The reason
is that what's going on in the states that you mentioned that already do this? Or is it ridiculous in Australia?
They have fines. Yes, I think they fine.
But I'm saying, like, have they elected a monkey? Have they just elected a gorilla? You know what I mean?
But you're,
That's what I'm saying, bro.
no, not that they elected, that they issue it when they go and vote. Someone will go in to vote for Mickey Mouse, so they don't get fined.
Okay, let me.
But I mean, that sounds like someone excusing that freedom of not voting. That sounds like someone being able to execute that freedom by voting for Mickey Mouse.
Estimated 220 million Mexican voters. Only about 15% of that number are actually educated.
Okay, Marshall.
But James gets to go, and then Marshall.
Let's bring this back a little bit. Okay, so with the Emancipation Proclamation and the enfranchisement of the southern states and the Black American, okay, the control mechanism was then to put in a whole lot of things like literacy tests. So these were themed racist, okay, but in reality it was it was more disenfranchisement. We have these arguments today with voter ID. Okay, so, and I agree with you. I think that no one should have a high school diploma without being able to pass the same naturalized citizen test that any immigrant has to come to the United States. So, yeah, you're correct. We have dumbed down the population. Now, to Joe's point, I do think that if you are a citizen of the United States, it is your civic duty to be required to vote. Now, you can opt out. You can, I mean, even Congress gets to vote present. So, but you do have to show up. I think we should have a national holiday. Most of the largest populations, including Brazil, which is like the 5th largest population, they have a national holiday. Everyone's required to vote, and you can vote. You can just show up and do present. But I think everyone, if you are going to demand the rights and privileges of the Constitution and be a stakeholder in this country, then your civic duty is to require to vote. Even if you just choose to vote fucking Mickey Mouse in, I don't give a shit. But I think that is part of what you are bought into. It is your birthright. Okay? Now, I'm a big fan of voter ID. I don't think anyone who is not a U.S. citizen should vote in any election. I don't think anyone that hasn't been born here for 3 generations should serve in our legislature, period. Because that's absurd. And so I'll land my plane there. So
James,
I agree with you.
But James, if you're going by people citing the Federalist paper, Hamilton himself would argue against you. He considered the majority of the population, well, quite frankly, retarded.
Yeah, I know. I've seen this. Yes. Okay. I get it.
I mean, he believed that a certain group of people should continue to vote